Cardinal lineup tonight. That changeup, he's thrown it 4 times all year. We'll see if he uses it tonight against the left-handers. But I think on top of all that, the key is going to be the defense. Now, for me, Brandon Crawford, one of the top defenders, I think, in the National League. He made 21 errors this year. Don't get caught up in the numbers. Great range. He gets some more balls than most people. But I think he's the key. Catch the routine grounder tonight.
All right, so over here, we've got Adam Wainwright. He's a 2-time 19-game winner. He's a 2-time 20-game winner. He's got a little something going on in that elbow, and by his own admission, he said he stunk in Game 1 of the divisional series.
Yeah, that was a different Adam Wainwright Game 1 of the division series. Gave up 11 hits, 1 short of his career high, but he did not throw his fastball and cutter very much at all. Really was a curveball pitcher. Keep your eye on him early in this game to see if he establishes fastball cutter. If not, that could be a tip-off if the elbow is barking a little bit. And if Mike Matheny has to go get some help early in the game, a couple of really good options. Michael Wacha and Marco Gonzalez waiting in the bullpen.
We get set for the start of this NLCS. 2 teams that know each other extremely well. Take the pledge to take one more day with MasterCard. Well, you don't have to be too much of a baseball historian to know this. The Giants have taken the even years in between. The Cardinals took 2011. And these two teams know each other very well. Guys that we've seen become stars in October going at it head-to-head. It's a 54-degree night. Don't let that fool you. It's chilly here at the ballpark. And you can see the other statistics with regard to the weather. And on this crisp night in St. Louis, we'll get this NLCS started in moments. The opening pitch will be brought to you by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Here's to Budweiser. Here's to baseball. How about a nice long look at the starting lineup for the Giants, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you gotta live Moss. Gregor Blanco, 2 hits in the divisional series. He leads it off. Then the rookie Joe Panik bats second at second, and one of the best in the game. Buster Posey hits third. He's the catcher. Pablo Sandoval is at third base. Hunter Pence, what a player he's been for the Giants. Brandon Belt, the game-winning home run in Game 2 of the division series in D.C. Then Brandon Crawford, Travis Ishikawa, with Michael Morse active and on the roster for the Giants in pitching and batting night. And he can hit. Madison Bumgarner and Adam Wainwright well aware of that fact. Wainwright getting set to go. He won 20 games this year, had an ERA of 2.38. He has made only 1 appearance since September 22nd. But as you look at the numbers, realize he was the National League Pitcher of the Month for the month of September, but did not look like that was the case when he took on the Dodgers in Game 1 of the divisional series. He did look like a front of the rotation guy the one time he took on the Giants in the 2012 NLCS Game 4. 7 innings, 1 earned run, 5 strikeouts. The Cardinals built up a 3-1 lead, but it was Barry Zito who turned that series around and helped get the Giants to the World Series, and then they took care of the Tigers in the Fall Classic. You guys want to talk through the defense?
Yeah, I got you, Joe. No problem.
Total filibuster.
Yeah, you've been rolling it a little bit, huh? Well, the key is they catch the ball. And the big key, again, I'm focused on the shortstop, Johnny Peralta. A lot of people have talked about how he's been able to make the adjustment back to playing shortstop on a regular basis and making the routine plays. You have to give Jose Aquindo a lot of credit for that. But I think also, Tom, the way the Cardinals play defense, they position quite well. He hasn't had to range a whole lot.
Yeah, these are 2 of the top 3 defensive teams in the National League according to defensive efficiency. Real curious to see if Adam Wainwright will establish fastball cutter early in this game. That would be an indication he's feeling much better than he did in the LDS.
All right, you ready, Joe?
I'm ready. Let's go. Gregor Blanco first up. Strike 1. It's Blanco, then Panik, then Posey in the first inning against Adam Wainwright. Strike 2.
Look at that ball, bounced straight back. But early, you know, when Wainwright sprinted to the mound to start the game, came out aggressive with first 2 fastballs, I think he's setting the tone early, Tom.
Well, I think, again, that last start, 102 pitches, only 45 fastballs and cutters. Normally, he should throw about 70.
2 fastballs to start. And now that one with a wrinkle in it to keep it 0-2. For coverage of this game in Spanish, please tune to Fox Deportes.
Joe, when I asked him about that pitch selection, he said it was because he had such a good curveball, and he said the problem was command. And he said tomorrow, this was yesterday, I will not have a problem with command.
85-mile-an-hour pitch misses up and away. The Giants really miss Angel Pagan. Finally succumbed to a bad back. And such a presence at the top of that lineup. Blanco trying to fill those shoes. He takes low. And the count evens at 2-2. The numbers just tell you all you need to know. With Angel Pagan, the Giants this year 56-35 without 4 games under the 500 mark. Their center fielder, their leadoff man, their tone setter.
Switch hitter too. He sets the tone like you're talking about.
There's a foul left side, and the at-bat continues.
But his ability to switch hit, it changes how you match up. It affects what they're going to do at the bottom of the order with a double switch. They really miss a lot in Pagan. And I really felt like Pagan and Scudero, the year they won the World Series a couple years ago, were one of the top 1-2 combinations I'd seen come along in a long time. They missed both those guys.
Both dealing with bad backs. They missed Scudero all year. 2 balls, 2 strikes from Wainwright. In the air to shallow center. Coming to get it is Jay. It'll bring in the rookie Joe Panik.
He has been a pleasant surprise. You know, they've tried a couple different people at second base trying to replace Scudero. Talking with a few people today, the instincts are what they really like about him. He's picking up quick, first step, situations, all those things. He's really blossoming into a big leaguer in front of our eyes. 8
different second basemen this year for the Giants until they settled on the rookie, and maybe as importantly, a number 2 hitter in their lineup in Panik.
Yeah, I love his approach at the plate. He hunts fastballs early in the count. 2 strikes, he hits 289. And that is very high. That's about 100 points above the league average. That's where he is right now.
See where he ranks among rookies. He just came up, right time, right place, right organization, and here he is. That is caught by Peralta. 2 down. Up to get it. Timed his leap perfectly on a softly hit line drive.
And that's the placement we were talking about before when we showed the defensive graphic. A lot of people raving about his defense, but you don't have to worry about it when you're positioned right. It takes 1 step and jumps. You know, that's when you're in the right area.
And for Adam Wainwright, 2 really good signs early. Both outs, he got inside on the hitters with the fastball.
So now Buster Posey, who was the Rookie of the Year in 2010, the MVP in 2012. He takes a ball outside from Adam Wainwright. Just 2 out of 14 in his career against Wainwright as Posey. And a 1-0. 91 from the Cardinal right-hander. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And he went into his bag of tricks, Harold, with the delayed delivery. He will vary the times of his delivery out of the windup just to play around with the hitter's timing.
Yeah, he's one of the fun guys you got to watch. He'll double pump, he'll bring the ball to his waist, he'll go over his head, and do all kinds of different things.
Breaking ball misses. Ball 2, 2-1. Sandoval next, either the man on in this first inning or a run home in this first inning, or leading off the second. That's down and away. Count goes to 3-1. With 2 out, nobody on, a pop-up right side. Wong, the rookie, is there, and Adam Wainwright has a perfect first inning. Now it's Madison Bumgarner's turn. After a half in game 1, no score. menu at Taco Bell. Live Más by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. By DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV. And now the Taco Bell lineup for the Cardinals, brought to you by Taco Bell. Sometimes you got to live Más. They lead it off with Matt Carpenter. What a division series he had. Randall Grichuk is the rookie right fielder. Matt Holliday in left. Johnny Peralta is the shortstop cleaning up. Matt Adams, a hero in the decisive Game 4. Then Yadier Molina, the catcher. John Jay. Rookie Colton Wong popped a game-winning home run in Game 3 of the divisional series. And then Adam Wainwright pitching and batting ninth against one of the game's best. He is young. He's younger than you might think. He just turned 25, but he's got all this experience. He is tough, and he is the guy the Giants want on the mound to start this LCS.
Well, he's unlike any starting pitcher in baseball. Such a really unique arm angle and release point with that slingshot delivery. You may see some left-handed relief specialists who throw that way, but to prepare for a starting pitcher like Madison Bumgarner, one of a kind.
First up, Matt Carpenter. 3 of his 6 hits against the Dodgers left the park, and all 3 home runs against left-handed pitchers. Away for ball 1. Ninth career postseason start for Bumgarner. See what Carpenter did. He became the 3rd left-handed hitter in postseason history to hit home run off 3 different left-handers in the same series. It's a strike, and the count evens at a ball and a strike.
He's so patient at the plate. He's not going to rush. He's going to let the situation dictate what he does. He's seen 2 fastballs now. And with this delivery from Bumgarner, it takes a little bit to read it because he kind of delays and it jumps on you. So you got to see it, particularly as a left-hander.
93 from Bumgarner, strike 2.
Well, there's not much of a mystery with Bumgarner. His last start division series, 83 of his 92 pitches were 4-seamers and cutters. He may flip up a curveball once in a while when he's bored, but he is super aggressive with his power stuff.
He was bored against the Pirates in the play-in game. That bounces in a complete game shutout. And then he pitched well against the Nationals in Game 3, committed a fielding error. Got the loss, but talk about what this guy has done. 0.78 ERA over his last 3 postseason starts.
How about that number right there? A long time since he gave up a home run to a lefty. 4 lefties in the St. Louis lineup tonight.
Still 2-2. Home plate umpire tonight is Phil Cuzzy. Bill Welke, Jerry Davis, who's the crew chief. Mark Carlson is at third base, Greg Gibson down the left field line, and Bill Miller in right. Paul Emmel is the replay umpire in New York. He will join this crew after Game 2. We're all out in San Francisco. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Carpenter leading off, lines one into right center. Over to cut it off is Hunter Pence, and Carpenter on with another hit against a left-handed pitcher.
It's about the approach. You know, get a chance to see pitches. It pays for some guys it does not. You can see here where this ball's going to be right in the middle of the plate. He drives it out to right center field. Hunter Pence cuts it off, but I think the ability to see a few different pitches on this at bat helped him. Doesn't work for everybody, but it works for him.
Now Grichuk was one of 11 different guys Mike Matheny put in the number 2 spot in his lineup this year as the Cardinals tried to replace the departed Carlos Beltran, who signed a free agent deal with the Yankees. They have settled on the rookie here in the postseason. Ball 1 inside.
You will see a lot of fastballs and cutters in on the hands of right-handed hitters. Most pitchers favor glove side or arm side, and for Bumgarner, naturally throws the ball to his glove side, in on right-handers, away from left-handers.
That's hit in the air to left. Should be easy for Ishikawa. It is 1 on 1 out. Grichuk is taken care of, and the batter will be Matt Holliday. Had a good second half. His power came back, ended up with 20 home runs. He was 8th in the National League with his 90 RBIs, drove home 3, but maybe more importantly for St. Louis, started each 7th inning rally against Clayton Kershaw with a base hit in game 1 and then again in game 4. And to right center, well hit back at the wall. It is caught. Carpenter all the way around the bag. A race back to first, and he's there with 2 out.
That's what the cold weather does right there. Carpenter's played how many games? A ton in this ballpark. Even the last series. That ball's in the seats a couple days ago. 54 degrees. This ball gets knocked down. You can look at the path that Blanco took to go get this ball. Off the bat from up here, it looks like it's gone. Carpenter's taking capper for sure on scoring. He realizes, hold on, they might catch this. I got to get back. It's going to take a perfect throw to get him. That's great base running. But the weather, this is perfect. Extension, he's on the ball. Matt Holliday said one of the things he had to do is get the ball out in front of him more. He tattooed that ball.
A loud long out. And now the batter is Johnny Peralta. He hits one off the hands into left, and after a leadoff hit by Carpenter, Bumgarner retires the side after 1 in game 1. Giants and Cardinals, no score. All of the action in 2015. Go to MLB.com/season tickets to reserve your seat today. All right, everybody settled in. 1 inning in the books, no score, and here is Pablo Sandoval facing Adam Wainwright. Ball 1 up and away. It'll be Sandoval, then Hunter Pence, then Brandon Belt. against the Cardinal right-hander. Here's a 1-0. That drops a little up and away, and the count 2-0.
You see that little line right there in front of Wainwright? His landing path, but he draws a line. This helps him stay anchored and centered on his target. Now, he didn't do this. I didn't see this the last game in L.A.
There's a strike. It's 2-1.
So those are the things you work on. You wonder, what do you work on in between games, in the bullpen, different things? He must have found something out mechanically and says, I'm drawing a line to make sure I stay on point.
Sandoval was ready to launch into that, and the count evens 2-2.
Yeah, there are times where even during a game he will change his position on the rubber. He said especially facing a hitter who has good numbers against him. Not a lot of pitchers like to move where they stand on the rubber. We'll talk about Bumgarner. He does, but Wainwright uses that as another weapon. Disrupt timing and create different angles.
The 2-2 is slashed just foul down the left field line.
Not as close as you can get, huh?
Yeah, and it was in the air, the ball that he hit in Game 2 of the division series against the Nationals that he squirted down the line to tie that game. And this one just fouled down the line. The guy who's a .305 career hitter against right-handers.
And you can tell where Carpenter was playing. He doesn't hit many balls down that way.
Still way off the line with a 2-2 pitch, and it's hammered into right, back at the wall. It is caught by Grichuk, and now it's dropped. Sandoval has got to get into second. He's there as it came out of the glove when Grichuk hit the ground. He had it and lost it.
What a tremendous effort. I don't know, man. Did he have control of this and then came down, had it? I would have to replay this if I was the Cardinals. That's a catch. Then he hits the wall. Now, by rule, you have to come out and pull that ball out of the glove. But this may be something that they replay, and they might get it. Because once this ball's caught, hits the wall, hangs on to it, he's got it all the way until he hits the ground. It's starting to come out now. So I don't know. That's a tough one to call right there.
Mike Matheny is out to talk to the right field umpire. Sandoval watched the ball go into the glove for a moment, then Grichuk lost it. And as I think this ball's live, and Mike Matheny is satisfied that it's the proper call by the right field umpire, Bill Miller, going to the ground. It looked like the ball started, and he started to lose control of it after he hit the wall and started to turn back away.
And by rule, you have to pull it out of the glove. Remember all the problems we had at the beginning of the year with the transfer rule and bringing the ball out and all that. But that's a tough one. I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards the other way on that.
I don't know. I thought the ground couldn't cause a fumble. Sorry about that.
Here is Pence with an opportunity. Here's a regular speed look at it.
Full speed, no doubt. You think this is a drop. No doubt, full speed. But when we replayed it, and that's what it's about, slowing it down, I thought it was a catch. Well, move on.
0-1 the count on Pence. A chance for the Giants to jump on top. Makes you think of the ball that Hunter Pence, the guy at the plate, caught up against the wall and right at AT&T Park in that clincher Game 4. That's one of the best catches I've seen in a long time.
Beautiful catch in a difficult right field. Mike Matheny, without the challenge there, I got to believe he was 100% sure he would not win. Because otherwise, Joe, that is a huge swing in the game where I don't care if it's early, you make the challenge. But here's the catch by Pence. Look how far back he has to go. No regard for the wall. And he somehow manages to hang on.
Brilliant.
Great catch. You know, the thing is, too, we got to explain the challenge rule. Each manager has one challenge up to the 6th inning.
Here's a 2-1 that skips in. Meanwhile, I'll read you the rule about a catch. It is not a catch if simultaneously or immediately following his contact with the ball he collides with a player or with a wall, or if he falls down and as a result of such collision or falling drops the ball, which is exactly what happened.
Absolutely. Right in the rule book.
It's a good call by the right field umpire and a good no challenge by Mike Matheny. Now a 3-1. Pence comes up empty, a full count.
Now back to the rule real quick. Each manager has an opportunity. They have one challenge in their pocket. If you miss it with that challenge, you lose that challenge, you lose it for the game. You win it, you got one more awarded to you. So he would have lost his challenge and been done for the rest of the game.
Here comes a 3-2. Pence chops it foul. For those of you just joining us, we are in the second. The Royals now lead their series 2-0 as they took both games at Camden Yards as they won tonight 6-4. And look at Lorenzo Cain. Forget the offense for a second. What he's doing in the outfield has been brilliant.
Tearing it up.
Here's a 3-2 again. Pence takes a walk. So a double, a walk, and it's 2 on with nobody out for the Giants here in the second.
You know, that play, you know, so often the umpires people are so hard and critical on umps. They know those little rules like you read off the top of their head. And that's what's so impressive is how they know all these little rules and things that may come up. You can't plan it. They have to be ready to react to everything. And I think that's one of the unique and great qualities of the umpires, to know everything going on at a second.
So now with 2 on and nobody out, here's Belt. And he was ready to jump on that first pitch, strike 1. Brandon had 5 hits, but none bigger than the game-winning home run in the top of the 18th in Game 2 at Washington in the division series. His only home run, one of his 2 RBIs. Here's the 0-1. High and tight.
You know, the one thing I'd worried about with Wainwright right now is he has not got a ground ball. This is a situation he's trying to get a grounder. Every ball's been in the air so far tonight.
Wainwright breezed through the first, in trouble here in the second, the 1-1. After a walk to Hunter Pence, which followed the double in and out of the glove of Grichuk and Wright. He's behind on the count to Belt, 2-1. And now a visit from Yadier Molina. And just to finish, and I know maybe this is too much, but as far as the catch and right, the next sentence in the rule book, in establishing the validity of the catch, the fielder shall hold the ball long enough to prove that he has complete control of the ball and that his release of the ball is voluntary and intentional. So in no way, shape, or form does this qualify as a catch.
Absolutely. And the sentence that really got it was hitting the wall or a person. That really changed the whole mindset for me anyway.
And who knows what it does here in this second inning and in Game 1 of this NLCS. It goes as a double, then a walk, and now a 2-1 to Belt. 2-2, and a good swing by the Giants first baseman.
I thought Brandon Belt was off to a season, Tom, where he was going to hit 30 home runs. He came out the year smoking, swinging the bat, then he had the injury. He had about 9 home runs when he got hurt about mid-May. And with the broken thumb, it just really changed and disrupted his whole season.
That's into left center field, might drop. It is in for a hit. The bases are loaded with nobody out here in the second. A little flare off the bat of Brandon Belt, and the Giants are in a great spot here in inning number 2.
Basically, everybody really had to hold to make sure that this ball landed in front of Matt Holliday. Holliday took a look at third, then took a look at second. Too late to get Pence at second base, but Giants are set up. It's been a long time since they knocked in a run with a base hit. How about 26 innings? The last 5 runs have scored on a solo homer, a sac fly, a walk, a ground out, and a wild pitch. Somehow this team gets it done, somehow, some way.
Well, now Brandon Crawford, who became the first shortstop in postseason history to hit a grand slam in the play-in game at Pittsburgh, has the bases loaded in front of him and nobody out. Ball 1, down and in from Adam Wainwright.
I'll go back to what I said with 2 hitters ago. Mike Matheny you're looking for a way to get out of this if you're Wainwright, and that's a ground ball. Not one ball has been hit on the ground. That's what he's looking for. He'll give up that run at third if he can get a double play.
Crawford takes low in the count, 2-0. Brandon Crawford had a terrific month of September, hit .365 and drove home 16. Hit .294 in the divisional series. Cardinals pitching coach Derek Lilliquist watching a 2-0. On the outside corner, 2-1.
Yeah, I think Brandon Crawford's one of the emerging young stars in the game. Tremendous range defensively, but he's starting to figure out how to hit. That's not a ball you want to swing at 2-0. Little things like that got him out before.
Here's a 2-1. 2-2 on a good pitch down and in.
Right here, if you're Adam Wainwright, you're thinking strikeout. You want to get a strikeout in this batter right here, and then maybe you get a ground ball to the next hitter and get out of it. But you're thinking punch out.
Great curveball right there. Great tilt pouring in on Crawford. 2 strikes. He likes to bounce the curve.
One away.
Oh, Harold, you called it. On 2-0, he had the discipline to stay off the pitcher's pitch. Wound up chasing 2 curveballs that broke out of the zone. This one designed to start in the zone and finish out of the zone. Great job of execution by Wainwright.
Joe, there is an art form to winning games. And Adam Wainwright understands that. He's taking this situation one hitter at a time. And now he's seeking and hunting for that double play.
Well, he's got Travis Ishikawa standing in his way. Second tour with the Giants. Started the year with the Pirates. Bases loaded, 1 away. And a little flare into left. That ball might drop. It is down for a hit. 1 run scores. Pence is going to hold at third. And the Giants lead 1-0 on a single by Travis Ishikawa.
Just fought him off, got a fastball in, was able to shoot it just far enough beyond Carpenter's reach. I was watching Carpenter go back after this ball. He gets to a point where he's thinking about diving. He's right there ready to dive, and it just wasn't in a position he thought he was going to get to it on.
Somehow, some way. It's the Giants in October. As you said, he gets jammed on the fastball. Just finds grass in fair territory.
So the frustration for Carpenter, the run for the Giants, and now it's Madison Bumgarner, who hit 2 grand slams this year. 2 of his 4 home runs were grand slams, helping him drive home 15 runs. This is the best hitting pitcher in the game now. At 258, throws left, bats right. 0-1 pitch. Nasty pitch from Wainwright, strike 2.
Deserves to be pitched that way. That's not just a normal pitcher up there. 4 home runs this year, the 2 grand slams. 4 home runs, the most by a Giant pitcher in 77 years.
He checked his swing. Ball 1-1-2.
Some respect right there, Harold. Pitched him like he's a number 4 hitter.
You can't give in right now. That's the big thing. But when you're up 0-2, but hey, there's a lot to be respected. You guys have talked about the numbers. He swung the bat. He deserves that respect.
Here's a 1-2. Breaking ball, line drive, and safe as they try to double up Belt.
I'm thinking that Peralta thought about maybe dropping this ball. This is a bullet at you. And think about maybe drop it, get something out of it. But in this situation, you go ahead and get 1. It's not going to be close as second. Got back. Good base running, by the way.
That's Brandon Belt, who got back to the bag, and now the bases are loaded, 2 out. The inning is up to Gregor Blanco.
It's great base running. You hear a lot of times on a line drive freeze, Actually, on a line drive, get back to the base, start moving back. Sometimes freezing, you'll still be doubled up.
That's ball one upstairs. Blanco now 2 out of 23 this postseason. The runners, Pence, Belt, and Ishikawa, who has the RBI hit. Here's a 1-0. 1 ball, 1 strike.
I was joking with Tim Flannery, the Giants' third base coach, about somehow, some way getting runners in with this Giants team. Remember, they scored on a wild pitch against the Nationals in the clinching game. And he said, yeah, we're working on not just our RBIs, but our RTIs. Runs thrown in. Take them any way they can get them.
You got to feel like it's like 7-0 if you're the Cardinals. It's only a 1-0. Seems like they've scored so many more runs.
The only RBI on that flare hit to left by Ishikawa. It's up to Blanco, who fights it off, and now he's in the hole 1-2.
All the trouble. It looks like he's got good stuff.
Two and two. Giants came into this game, Tom, 9 for 51 with runners in scoring position. They have a hit tonight from Ishikawa, but they're still looking for that gapper.
2-out dagger as well. With Wainwright, Howard, I agree with you. The 2-strike curveball there. Blanco is disciplined to stay off. I've liked his fastball and cutters in on the Giants hitters. Got unlucky with Ishikawa. It's been a good pitch for him.
And now Molina out to chat with Adam Wainwright for more on the Cardinal right-hander. Down to the field level, and Kenny Rosenthal.
Joe, often when a player downplays an injury, he doth protest too much. But Adam Wainwright could not have been more emphatic yesterday, talking about the condition of his elbow, saying the concerns were way overblown. He even sent a message to the elbow-fearing world, saying the issue was on the backside of his elbow and not the ligament.
He missed 2011 with Tommy John surgery recovery. He's been a workhorse ever since. It's 2-2. A full count, and the runners will go.
I thought that was an interesting conversation with him and Yachty, because the game can get out of reach right now with Bumgarner pitching against it.
He wanted to go in with that last pitch. Mislocation.
Blanco. Carpenter kicks it. 1 run scores. It's 2-0. Hard hit by Blanco. Carpenter to his left could not corral it, and the Giants add to their lead.
You don't see this very often, but off the bat of a left-hander, this ball's going to slice back on him instead of staying true to his left, and cuts back on him to his right. That's why he ends up missing this baseball. That's what happens when you get that ball sliced with the left-hander hitting towards the third baseman.
You saw where his glove up. He let that ball get to his feet. The glove wasn't out in front of him. Didn't have time to really set his feet and get the glove out in front. Much tougher play when that ball gets back to your feet.
It's an error on Carpenter, who committed 16 during the regular season. And it's the first error by a Cardinal position player so far this postseason.
And it's a ball he'll tell you right now, I should have had it.
Now it's Panic. Bases loaded, 2 out. Ball 1 down and in. 8th man to bat in the inning is Joe Panic.
Inning started on the ball in right field, right?
The ball in and out of the glove of Randall Grichuk. He hit the wall, lost it going to the ground. Sandoval hit it, went for a double. Here's a 1-0. Up the middle, Wainwright, the Gold Glove Award winner. makes the play, but in the inning, RBIs by Ishikawa, and the other scoring on an error. Grichuk, that's how the inning started. The Giants take advantage, and after an inning and a half in Game 1 of this NLCS, lead it 2-0. Telecast sponsored by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Here's to Budweiser, here's to baseball. For the Cardinals, it'll be Matt Adams, Yadier Molina, John Jay against Madison Bumgarner, who allowed a leadoff hit in the first. And took care of Grichuk, Holiday, and Johnny Peralta. Strike one, 2-0. Giants lead with an RBI by Ishikawa. And a run scoring on an error. Here's the 0-1. Little high heat at 93 from Bumgarner. Strike two.
So deceptive to pick up. That 93, from the angle he throws at, looks like 97. It's tough to pick up.
That's right down the middle. Struck him out. One away. And now for a game break. Check in with Greg Wolf. Greg?
Joe, thanks. Let's go to Camden Yards. Game 2 of the ALCS. Greg Holland in to close things out for the Royals. He gets Steve Pearce to end it. Royals win 6-4. They take the first two games in Baltimore. They lead the ALCS 2-0. Game 3 is Monday in Kansas City. Joe, back to you.
Greg, thank you. So much to talk about in that series as a strike is into Yadier Molina. What is on display and what was on display in the divisional series we covered between the Dodgers and the Cardinals is the work out of the bullpen. The Kansas City Royals can just mow you down coming out of the bullpen, and they've done it this entire postseason.
Something's going on over there, Joe. Kansas City Royals, like the Cardinals, the fewest home runs in their league, winning games with home runs. They've hit four, I think it's 4 extra inning home runs just in this postseason. Brandon Belt's home run for the Giants, one of only 3 in Giants history extra innings postseason.
Here's a 1-1 to Molina with 1 out. That's outside. Down 2-1. Lorenzo Cain 4 for 5 in that game. Moustakas a home run for his 3rd straight game and his 4th of the postseason. For a team that hit less than 100 during the regular year, as the count goes to 2-2.
Been an amazing role. You know, it's a throwback too. They're using athleticism, speed on the bases, running balls down the outfield. The outfield defense has been incredible, crazy.
The 2-2. Here you go. You've got the Royals, who hit the fewest home runs in baseball. They've hit 8 in this postseason. The Cardinals hit the fewest home runs in the National League, and they've hit 7 so far. Here's a 2-2 again. To the shortstop. Crawford has plenty of time. 2 down. Let's talk about momentum, and let's take this thing down to Aaron Andrews. Aaron.
Well, you know, and that's exactly what Matt Carpenter said to us. He said, look at the Kansas City Royals and everything that they're doing, and it all comes from momentum. Matt Carpenter and manager Mike Matheny said, we don't want to forget about what happened against the Los Angeles Dodgers. We want to ride off of what we did with Clayton Kershaw. We want to ride this thing to the end. He mentioned a lot of people counted us out, but they said we've got something going and we want to keep it rolling. Got to add some runs up to the board here first, though, guys.
Aaron, thanks. With 2 out, nobody on. Here's John Jay, and there's a ball outside. But in baseball, it's different than all other sports because the momentum is only as good, as they say, as the next day's starter. And the Cardinals are dealing with one of the best in the game at 25 years old. 2-0.
And he's getting on a roll right now, too. The interesting thing here is you would think if the Cardinals got behind, they're not going to score runs because they don't hit home runs. They're not going to win games. Well, they did. And same with the Royals. They've been able to do that, to come from behind and still be able to score runs.
2 out, nobody on. A 2-0 pitch is in at the knees. 2-1.
Difference I see at Madison Bumgarner using both sides of the plate. He changed where he stands on the rubber probably midway through the season, around August, to give himself a better angle to get that ball to the arm side.
That's foul.
And John Jay, sorry about that, Joe. John Jay's got good numbers off him, 6 for 14, because he likes the ball away. We know he's such a good hitter against left-handed pitching. Tonight you see Bumgarner using both sides of the plate against right-handers and left-handers.
So the stats to back up what Tom's talking about. With 2 out, nobody on. Here comes a 2-2 from Bumgarner. That's foul.
One thing that Bumgarner continues to do, though, is here it is hitting. Boys, I'm coming at you. And he challenges. And he doesn't find himself in trouble because of that. You know, a lot of guys get in trouble because they nibble so much.
Well, he proved as a kid he's not scared. Coming up at the age of 20. Pitching in the postseason at 21. No swing by Jay, and the count is full. Was a World Series Game 4 winner at the age of 21, Madison Bumgarner, and now he just turned 25 as Jay came close.
Well, how about hitting Yasiel Puig with the slider and then saying, you want some? You want some?
A 3-2 pitch. Base hit left field. John Jay is on with 2 out. And there's that stroke into left.
That's why it's a good matchup for Jay. I know Bumgarner's so tough on left-handers, but he likes to run that ball away right into the wheelhouse of John Jay. Really have to get Jay out, force him to try to pull the baseball. Even that one stays inside the baseball. Terrific swing.
You know what I like is they're playing 4 left-handers against him. And look, put your best players out there and go get them. I'm so tired of the matchups and we're going to platoon and all these other things. Look, they've been hitting left-handers their whole lives.
They hit left-handers in the division series. This is one of them, Colton Wong, who had a game-winning home run in Game 3. Tried to jump on that pitch, came up empty, strike 1.
He threw a little bit of a cutter on him right there. He's looking for that same fastball he was challenging everybody with. Watch this, the last second, that ball cuts and runs away from him. If it's the straight four-seamer, he's on it.
I love this kid. First time he's seen Bumgarner, he's not going to look at anything. He's swinging the first thing he sees.
Got great bat speed. As he fouls it away now in the hole 0-2. It was against the left-hander Albert. Colton Wong won the game here in the what turned into a magical inning for the Cardinals in that divisional series, the 7th inning, where they did all the damage for the most part, not all, but the majority of it against Dodger pitching. A strikeout ends the inning. 2 in the frame for Bumgarner. We're going to talk to Jake Peavy the next half inning. Who's coming up? Former MVP Buster Posey. As he goes, so go the Giants. 2 up for San Francisco, leading 2-0. Ball. Hunter Pence. 3 scheduled hitters against Adam Wainwright. Breaking ball is a bit high. Ball 1. We are. I'm not going to introduce him right now because Lee Macheska, our producer, is telling me to wait. We're fortunate to have the right-handers. Adam Wainwright looks in and says, "Where was that?" Count 2-0. Right-hander for the Giants, who will get the ball. Mañana. Game 2, join us live from the dugout. We'll do it after this pitch. Here's a 2-0 and a foul out of play. Time for the interview with Jake Peavy, brought to you by DirecTV. Jake, thank you, sir. Thanks for joining us from down there.
Hey, happy to be here, guys.
You know why you're great? Because you show emotion. You look like you care out there, like you're having fun.
I have a hard time keeping it in. There's no doubt. When you watch the game tomorrow night, there'll be there'll be some different grimaces on my face, and you'll know.
Face hit Posey.
Yeah, you'll know how the game's going for the most part by my emotions, and you know what? That's something I can't apologize for. I'm a passionate person, and at the end of the day, I'll be passionate and crazy, but there'll be a lot of thought process and a lot of interaction with the players on the field and my catcher, of course.
Hey, Jake, we just saw Adam looking at the umpire and had a little conversation, talking back and forth. Are you working the pitcher the umpire all game long? You pitchers do that?
You do. You have to, and especially as a veteran guy, when you can find out. You got to find out the zone first. Your catcher helps with that. You find out where he wants it, and you know, at the end of the day, if he's consistent, you know where you can and can't throw the ball. And these guys do a great job. They're under the microscope, as we all know. It's not very easy to do, but these guys do a great job. But in great friendships, I have great relationships with most all umpires across the league.
So a base hit by Posey. The batter is Sandoval. We're talking with Jake Peavy, who gets the ball tomorrow night against Lance Lynn in Game 2. Giants lead here 2-0. Sandoval with a double in and out of the glove of Grichuk in right. Now this one is hit in front of Grichuk in right. 2 on, nobody out. And Jake Peavy, your Giants pick up right where they left off. There's so much to talk about with you. First of all, what clicked for you personally on the mound after the trade for the Boston Red Sox? Because you look like a completely different pitcher in a Giants uniform.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You know, just being in the right spot, right time. Had some mechanical stuff that we did, but very little. I had great coaches in Boston, great coaches here as well. Just got in a good place where, you know, I was really wanted. This team needed a boost, and back with Boch and Flan and these guys believe in me in a special way. So it gives me all the confidence in the world to go out and be the guy we all want to be.
Well, Jake, Boch told us he thought your stuff was good in Boston. The numbers didn't reflect what it was, but has your stuff played up since the trade here in San Francisco?
You know, I think I've just been more consistent. Been able to duplicate my motion and really just stay true the whole game long. I would have, you know, periods of time in Boston, 3-4 innings where things would be together, and then I'd get off track, had a hard time, you know, in maybe an inning or so there. But just been more consistent here. Been able to pitch deep in some ball games, and it's been fun to be a part of this great bunch of guys, great city. Can't say enough good things about San Francisco.
2 on, nobody out, 0-2 the count on Hunter Pence, and here's one up the middle, slowed down, dropped out at second. Wong was thinking about turning 2 before he got 1, and his first and third 1 out. Wainwright slowed it down just enough, it looked like, as this ball, and it hit off the left wrist of Wainwright right to Wong, and he took his eye off it.
Yeah, a lot of times when that ball kicks off somebody, or the pitcher in this case, you try to speed up your actions. Instead, I don't think you realize he's right at the bag. It's going to be a routine double play if you just catch it. Get in a hurry. Remember the old basic. Get 1 before you get 2.
Yeah, he's got to make that play. That's an extra out right there. Not an error, but an out lost.
So it's 1, 4, 6 on the force out at second base. And now it's Belt with first and third 1 out. And Jake Peavy in the dugout. You mentioned it briefly. This is a fun team, Jake, to be a part of, isn't it?
It is. This bunch is it's got all different kind of characters. You know, you got Pablo Sandoval and Buster Posey, just guys who just started this inning. Completely different personality guys, but at the end of the day, champions, both of them, a few times over.
Here's one down the right field line, but foul off the bat of Brandon Belt. You guys have been involved in some crazy games already this postseason.
We have, you know, going into Pittsburgh and doing what Mad did there. Madison Bumgarner, what a great job, and Brandon Crawford, big home run. That gave us all the confidence in the world that we could play with these clubs in the postseason. And we played really well against a great Washington ball club, and trying to do the same here. We've got our work cut out for us. We all know how good the St. Louis Cardinals are.
Well, you know something about characters from that team that you came from. What's the similarities that you see?
You know, the similarities are the way these guys approach the game and approach coming to work. You know, when these guys come in to start their day, we punch a clock. We go to work, and these boys tote their lunch pail and their thermoses. We're a blue-collar bunch that's going to scrap and claw and fight and take pride in trying to do the little things that make the difference in these big games.
I got a question for you mechanically. You played with Bochy 5 years in San Diego. You were a little younger then. What did he see maybe from then to now that you might have been able to apply to this run you're on right now?
Yeah, you know, another thing too, Boch knowing me, and Righetti and Gardy, the bullpen coach as well. These guys saw me a lot when I was in San Diego, so they had some really good insight. Have some close pitches here, but yeah, no, Boch and those guys have just.
I saw your face on that.
Spoken like a pitcher.
What would you be saying right now?
You know what? I'm gonna need that one tomorrow night.
We promise not to lip read tomorrow, Jake.
No, that's okay. We'll. It'll be, you know, I tell everybody too, you'll see me running my mouth and my emotions, but I do try to be the best role model. I got some little boys that are constantly watching, as we know. We're role models, and everybody watches Fox, don't they? So the world's watching. Got to be a good role model tomorrow. So read my lips, and I'll do my best to be PG-13 always.
I need that pitch tomorrow. That told us everything we need to know right there.
1-2 the count on Brandon Belt. Runners at the corners. Crowd tries to get back into it. 1 out. The Giants leading 2-0 here in the top of the third. That's foul.
So, Jake, no joking aside, at the end of the half inning, I see pitchers a lot of times talk with the umpire. What's that conversation?
Well, you know, a lot of times it's that repertoire we talked about. You know, you're trying to say, hey, man, was that ball down or you got it in? Is that, you know, I'm going to need that. It's a strike. And he's going to go, nah, you got to get on the plate a little more. And I'm going to go, nah, I'm going to go look at it, and I'll tell you when I come back out here, but I'm pretty sure that's a strike. You know, you just got to go back and forth. And like I said, these guys are professional, and we're all here trying to work together and do the best job we can. So it's, for the most part, always pretty productive.
Here's a 1-2 up and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We'll go get him tomorrow night. Thanks for your time tonight, Jake. We'll let you get back to. I mean, I know you're not charting pitches.
No. I'm sitting here pulling. No, I'm sitting here trying to give energy and spirit to these boys to grind it out. Got a long way to go.
All right, have fun tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
That's Jake Peavy, the right-hander. What a lift he's been to the Giants since they picked him up from the Red Sox. Brian Sabian, the longest tenured GM in the National League, made that happen. That is up and away in the count full.
And one theme throughout this game so far for Wainwright: tough time putting hitters away. And this is the MO of both the Giants and the Cardinals. Tend not to strike out, grind out at bats, put the ball in play. But getting that 2-strike put-away pitch for Wainwright has been elusive.
Now a 3-2 pitch. Runner goes, fly ball into center, sends Jay back. Tagging is the lead runner. Here comes Buster Posey. No chance. 3-0 Giants on top. And the failure to turn the double play by the Cardinal middle infielders, in particular the rookie Wong, leads to the sac fly and another run on the board for San Francisco.
Yeah, you're going to look back at it, and he's going to think about that as well. Those are the little things in the postseason that add up. And this is an offensive club that's finally starting to get clicking.
Took advantage of some curveballs in this inning. The hits by Posey and Sandoval on curveballs. Sacrifice fly by Belt on the curveball.
Now Brandon Crawford, who struck out his first time. With a runner at first, it's Hunter Pence, and 2 out. Ball 1. In case you're wondering, Pence stole 13 bases during the regular season, has 1 so far in the postseason. Yadier Molina led the league, throwing out 48% potential base stealers. Pence not a big lead. Crawford grounds to Wong. Inning over, another run on the board for the Giants. Hits by Posey and Sandoval started at sac fly for Belt. 3-0 San Francisco on top in the third. Brought to you by T-Mobile, changing the game of wireless. Here's Adam Wainwright. Adam so far has allowed 3 runs on 5 hits. That's in at the knees from Bumgarner. Strike 1. Trying to get on in front of Carpenter and Grichuk in a 3-0 game. The Giants are doing already in this game what they've, as Wainwright's rung up on that pitch for strike 2, what they've done not just in this postseason, but what they did in 2010, what they did in 2012, more now. But if you give this Giants team a crack, they will completely run with it and score runs.
They've been tough enough as it is, but as you said, you see the swing and the miss. You give them anything. How about this? They're 12-0 when you give them an unearned run in the postseason under Bruce Bochy. And here's one that's not an error, and it won't be scored an unearned run, but that's really a double play that needs to be made. It would have taken the sacrifice fly out of order. The earlier error by Carpenter. Defense letting down Adam Wainwright. That is not a happy dugout.
It's Yadier Molina, who is the leader down in that dugout. Man at the plate with the error. A ball hit by Blanco, which made it 2-0 in the second. Then no double play in the top of this 3rd inning, and the sac fly followed. First pitch a strike to Carpenter from Bumgarner.
No nonsense. 4 straight strikes. Here it is. Hit it. How often do we see pitchers give a little crack after the team gets some runs for you? Let them back in it.
That's in for strike 2.
Not here.
You thought he was in attack mode to start the game. You give him a 3-run lead. I think he double parked his car and left the engine running. Nice breaking ball. Sure, I'll give you one more number about this opportunistic Giants team. When they get more than 2 runs under Bruce Bochy in the postseason, 21-3. Doesn't take much to give this team a crack that they take advantage of.
But that goes back to their good starting pitching and their mix and match bullpen that I think Bruce Bochy handles as well as, or maybe better than, any other manager in the game.
Totally agree. He's got a lot of pieces to choose from. Seems to make the right choice all the time.
Here's a 1-2. Hard hit, but right at Belt. He's going to race to the bag. 2 down. Well, tomorrow on Fox Sports 1 at 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific, it's Game 2 of this NLCS from St. Louis. Then Monday, the ALCS will go to the other side of the state here in Missouri as the Orioles take on the Royals in Game 3 from Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. The game will be seen at 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on TBS.
I'd have to say I'm a little surprised that that series is 2-0 Royals.
I don't know if anything the Royals are going to do now or from here on out should surprise anybody. The way they came back against the A's in that play-in game against John Lester in particular, they got off the mat. They looked dead to the world, and here they are up 2-0, 2 wins away from the World Series. Here's a 1-0 to Grichuk. Hard hit, foul.
Something to be said about playing continually. You know, you look at the Giants, they had to play all the way through, every game counting. When the Cardinals went on that run to win the World Series, remember that year they had to win all those games and just got on a roll. 2011. Who said no, Joe?
1 ball, 1 strike with 2 out and nobody on. That is strike 2.
I don't know if I've seen a team play with such visible confidence like the Kansas City Royals. Maybe the Jackie Robinson Little League team from Chicago, closest example. But I love to see the emotion, but the visible confidence you see from the Royals.
Here's a 1-2. Grichuk takes inside.
Tom, you nailed it earlier with Bumgarner. We've watched him bust guys in. Just in this at bat alone, Grichuk pulling the ball foul in, then a slider, a breaking ball on the corner away. He's moving it in and out. Tough challenge right now tonight for the Cards.
Career high 18 wins during the regular season. His 2-2 pitch. He's a handful tonight as Grichuk strikes out and the inning is over. That's strikeout number 4 for the Giant left-hander. Let's go to inning number 4 in game number 1. San Francisco up 3-0. Two teams that know how to play this time of year matching up in the NLCS. Fourth inning rolls in game 1. It'll be Ishikawa, Bumgarner, and Blanco for the Giants. And Wainwright's next pitch will be number 70. So the Giants have made him work. The defense behind him has made him work. And Wainwright will deal with Ishikawa, who has a flare hit for an RBI. His first time takes a strike.
Yeah, and I think Matheny's done a nice job. We haven't seen anybody up in the bullpen. It's game 1, and they feel like this might be a 7-game series. Now, there's Michael Walker, there's other people out there, but you got to stretch Adam Wainwright a little bit if you want to be competitive in this 7-game series. You can't blow it out right now, and in game 1 to try to think this is going to make a difference moving forward.
Here's the 0-2. Lined into left center field. This ball's going to get down. Holiday cuts it off. Ishikawa is going to hold it first with a leadoff single. And Travis Ishikawa, with Michael Morse active and on this roster, is trying to hang on to that starting left field spot. He's 2 for 2.
They've done a nice job of making sure he gets the ball up. You know, I talked earlier about every ball had been hit in the air. Then we saw the grounder to Carpenter that he missed and the ground ball to Colton Wong. But other than that, everything's been in the air. And what you do against Adam Wainwright, you make him get that ball above the knees.
He's not happy with that cutter, left it over the plate. Again, the inability to put hitters away with 2 strikes. Strikes again.
Now Bumgarner's going to swing. Forget the bunt. Strike 1. Wow. At least on that first pitch, see if the Giants change it up.
Sometimes they do give you 1 pitch to swing, and then you go to the bunt. A lot of times you want to play for that fourth run, so a grand slam doesn't hurt you if you get in that situation. We'll see.
Now he shortens up and drops down a foul to make it 0-2. We've seen Matt Carpenter as Marco Gonzalez, the rookie left-hander, gets loose. We've seen Matt Carpenter in the Dodgers series breathe down the neck of a pitcher up there to bunt, but with the ability by Bumgarner to swing the bat, he is not as aggressive over at third base. And now with 2 strikes, we'll see how the Giants want to play it. Outside, ball 1.
Well, that's the confidence in the ability to get the ball down, even with 2 strikes. You see him square around late trying to get it down. That might have been on his own. You heard him screaming after he fouled the ball off. And a lot of times a player will take it on his own initiative to say, I should have got that ball down. I can still get that ball down.
Squares early. Breaking ball misses low, and the count evens 2-2.
Now, a lot of people think the hardest ball to bunt is a fastball that's up, and that's probably so. But the next, I think, most difficult is a curveball, because you're anticipating the ball to be straight, and then it got a little wrinkle, and you're trying to chase it. That's why guys will foul it off with 2 strikes. That's why you've seen so many breaking balls back and forth.
Here is a strikeout on a foul tip, 1 away. Second strikeout for Adam Wainwright. Tonight's telecast sponsored by Dodge Dart. Don't touch it. And by T-Mobile.
Joe, that was the 25th pitch that Wainwright has thrown in a 2-strike count. He's got 1 swing and miss. Obviously, that will go in the books as a strikeout on the failed bunt attempt, but it's been very difficult for him to get strike 3 on these Giants hitters.
Again, that's the experience of a veteran pitcher. A high pitch that's going to be hard to get down, and a breaking ball. So he's looking for a pop-up or a foul tip like he got.
Here's a ball inside to Gregor Blanco, who plated a run with a ball that he hit to the third baseman, Matt Carpenter, and went for an error. Rather hard hit, but still 2 for 24 so far this postseason. Strike 1. Giants won 88 games during the regular season. They finished 6 behind the Dodgers in the West, but 6 up, and tied with Pittsburgh, 2 wild card teams. Milwaukee the closest to him. There's a guy who I think will end up in the Hall of Fame as a manager, Bruce Bochy.
I totally agree. There is no doubt.
Here's a 1-1.
You talk about no-brainers. What he's been able to do with 2 different organizations and make them competitive and get to the World Series and win, I think he's so overlooked. At the time that he was in, when you're talking about La Russa and Bobby Cox and all the other guys,
Joe Torre,
yeah, who all went in, but he's been competing against those men all the time.
Here's a 2-1. That is a fair ball and no throw down to second. So 2 out in the inning, and Matt Adams almost looked like he was surprised this ball was called fair.
Yeah, it looks like it's called fair by Bill Welke, first base umpire, even though it didn't get to the base when he made the call.
I think it's the way he played it, it's going to be a fair ball. You see where he's at? That ball's inside the line.
So down to second goes Ishikawa. And it's up to the rookie Panic. Breaking ball, low, ball 1. Giants started the year trying to force Brandon Hicks in at second base, and Dan Uggla even there for a short while, trying to fill in for the injured Marco Scutaro. Such a big part of it all 2 years ago when the Giants won it all. That's strike 1. Then the rookie came up mid-season and he ended up hitting 300, 305 to be exact. He's 0 for 2 tonight.
You hadn't seen a curveball like this. Pretty tough. jumped in and really done a terrific job for the Giants. So I forgot Uggla was there.
Here's a 1-1. That is not hard hit. Peralta gloves, throws, and got it. The inning is over. Wainwright back to the dugout, but so far on the mound, the Knights belong to number 40. Madison Bumgarner, bottom of the 4th inning, rolls in. Bumgarner back to work. He's been good. 3-0. Giants on top. The 2014 North American Truck of the Year, the Chevy Silverado. Stop by your local Chevy dealer today. First pitch is a strike, and we've seen a lot of that from Madison Bumgarner as he deals with Holiday, Peralta, and Adams. Here in the 4th inning, leading 3-0.
It just eats you up. You get that first pitch strike, and when you're down 3, it's tough to jump on that first pitch, and now it allows him to expand the strike zone on you.
Inside, a ball and a strike. Holiday crushed one into right center his first time up. And on this chilly night in St. Louis, it was caught by Gregor Blanco on the track. Out in front of this pitch, totally fooled, strike 2.
He's throwing, what, 4 changeups all season long? He ends up throwing what looked like a changeup swing. Yeah, it's a changeup. Gets out in front of the fastball, and that ball just dies. So the element of surprise coming into effect right there.
I agree. I think he's mixed in the curveball more. Remember his last start, 90% of his pitches, fastballs and cutters. Much more variety tonight.
That's fouled back. We had a chance to visit with Mike Matheny, the Cardinal manager. We'll play that after Holiday does something. Here to start the bottom of the 4th inning. The obvious first question was about Adam Wainwright and what he's seeing so far from his veteran right-hander. We'll give you that after this at bat. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Another breaking ball. You saw him shake through the changeup and the fastball to get to it.
Yeah, as you look at this breaking pitch right here, I got to be corrected. He's thrown 250 changeups to right-handers. Sounds a little more like about it. And he's only thrown 4 to the lefties this season. So I got a chance to correct that.
All right. There's a 1-2. Reaching for it, little pop-up into right. Plenty of time for Hunter Pence. 1 away. Time for our manager interview with Mike Matheny, brought to you by DirecTV, and his answer to the question about what he's seeing from Wainwright.
He's working hard right now. They've hit a couple breaking balls hard, and a few things just not quite go the way we want. Almost a great play in right ended up leading to a couple miscues that cost us runs. But we talked about this, Joe, early. It's going to kind of be the team that plays clean and doesn't make mistakes, and we've had a couple not go our way. Yeah,
and so since we're here in Game 1, that's really what you two look at manager-wise. You and Bruce Bochy, you have very similar teams. Both of your clubs take advantage of opportunities.
Yeah, I think we both have scrappy teams that just stay in there and fight. But we're going to have to do little things right. Little things are making the plays and making pitches in tough situations, and hopefully you get that big hit. And we haven't been able to get that yet, but this is a team that just thrives on trying to make that happen as we go.
Yeah, that's the last question. You did it against Kershaw a couple of times. Now you deal with another left-hander. There's recent history to suggest your guys aren't going to roll over.
No, I don't believe we will. We haven't really all season, but there's nothing wrong with jumping out to a lead either. But this is the team we've been all year, and I don't know why we'd expect to be any different.
All right, Mike, thanks.
All right, guys.
3rd year as a manager in the big leagues, his 3rd NLCS. 2nd time against the Giants. Here's a 2-0. 2-1, and that foul tip caught part of Buster Posey.
Well, jumping out to a lead doesn't hurt. You know what I liked about that is his natural reaction to it. He's got his game face on, but he's also saying, he's telling a little bit of a joke in there. It's kind of fun. He's enjoying the game.
Well, this Cardinal team, like the Giants team, they proved it against the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw. They'll keep coming at you and make you earn a win. That's inside. The count goes to 3-1.
This guy on the mound has a different postseason resume than Clayton Kershaw. 22 in the 3rd, consecutive scoreless innings on the road in the postseason. That's just 2 outs away from the all-time record.
Full count, big rip by Peralta.
And I know, Joe, there's all kinds of division series and rounds of playoffs now, and the all-time record was set by Art Neff of the Giants, which ended 90 years ago, and that was obviously all World Series play. When you're working on your 23rd consecutive scoreless inning on the road in the postseason, I don't care what round it is, that's impressive.
You got Holiday on a fly ball to right. Now a 1-on-1.
I don't know how old Art Neff was, but this guy's only 25 right now, doing what he's been doing. It's a big walk right here, though, to get something going for the Cardinals.
Matt Adams will be the hitter, struck out his first time.
He just blew away Matt Adams the first at bat. Just here it is, fastball. I dare you to hit it. So we'll see if he's made any adjustment on him as well. Be aggressive, look for that fastball to challenge him.
I agree. It looked like he wasn't picking up the ball well at all. Looking at the called 3rd strike, hit it right down the middle.
Remember, Adams, a guy who hit only 190 during the regular season against left-handed pitching. Well, he was looking at first base during that entire delivery to the plate. That's ball 1 outside.
Yeah, that, and look at the defense. Look how deep the second baseman's playing. They're playing according to the speed of Adams and the situation of the game. You can still turn a double play on him if it's hit hard, but they're playing outs at a time right now.
1 on, 1 out. And Adams way out in front of that breaking ball, down and away, strike 1.
It's nasty. Watch the way this ball continues to work away from Matt Adams. He thought that ball was over the plate. Wound up in the right-handed batter's box.
Too far outside, 2-1.
So Buster Posey's calling a great game, though. Calling a terrific game. That was a great attack right there. You threw the slider before it ran from the lefty. Then you go back out with something a little firmer, a straight, hard fastball right on the black, see if he'll chase it. It's great.
That caught the corner, 2-2.
See, when you're in sync with your pitcher, you don't have to even put down a sign. You see Buster sitting there and he's thinking, what do I want to throw? I'm going to pause, make the hitter think we're going through something, different sequence. He puts down one sign, boom, here comes the pitch. So it's the rhythm of the cadence as well. He's doing a terrific job.
Chased it, struck him out. And strikeout number 5 for Bumgarner.
I noticed there too, Bumgarner actually moved on the rubber a little bit, slightly more to the third base side. He's been mostly in the center of the rubber. And it looks to me like wanting to work the ball away from Matt Adams throughout this sequence. He slid himself over a little bit to the third base side of the rubber, and that's where he stayed, and that's where he got the out, away from Matt Adams.
Now Yadier Molina bounced out his first time. He hits one into left. This ball is caught by Ishikawa. And the Giants are playing their game, and we are through 4 innings of game number 1. Pitching, defense, taking advantage of opportunity. Leading 3-0. Back after this from your local Fox station. The game of wireless. 5th inning rolls in. Adam Wainwright has not been easy to this point. Already thrown 84 pitches. He will deal with the heart of the lineup with help behind him in the bullpen. Buster Posey first up, and he floats one into left. Coming to get it is Holiday, 1 out. That'll bring in Pablo Sandoval.
Tell you what, Pablo Sandoval's had some great swings tonight, and it's almost like how low can you throw a ball? Here's his approach. I want to get something down in the zone. Look at this. This is the ball off the wall with Grichuk. They made the great catch on. And then how about this ball right here? In the third inning, the line bullet, he hit the right field for the base hit. Look at how he stays down, keeps the head down, the one-hand finish, staying through the ball. It's a beautiful swing. This guy ranks people. He can flat out hit. Talk about hand-eye coordination.
He takes a pitch down and in.
That was a great shot. Yadi Molina was going down to his knees to block that ball. And since we're in St. Louis, I'll invoke Yogi Berra. Pablo Sandoval is Yogi Berra. He can hit anything, barrel up even the worst of pitches.
With 1 out, a 1-0 is upstairs, 2-0.
Watch Molina here. He's going down to his knees to block this ball. Pablo says, don't bother, I got it.
Let me scoop this out. Let me scoop it out for you.
Pablo went hitless in the clincher game for the divisional series as he takes ball 3-0, which ended his postseason hitting streak at 14 straight. So while these Giants have just gone off in the postseason 26-10 since 2010 when they won it all and beat the Rangers in late October, Sandoval's been a big part of it, and he knows how to hit. The calendar turns to October.
We'll take a picture of that pitch there. 3-0 to Pablo. That doesn't happen very often. I think Adam Wainwright knows probably his last inning.
A 1-out walk with Hunter Pence coming up.
Typically in a regular season in the National League, the starting pitcher, if you're trailing, you're not going to get your third at bat. In the postseason, the rules change. You might not get your second at bat. And Wainwright, his second at bat is due third in the bottom of the inning. And I think he knows with Marco Gonzalez warming up, his last inning is right here.
Maybe his last batter. With the left-handed hitting Belt and Brandon Crawford to follow, and Gonzalez in the bullpen. Obviously, Mike Matheny would love to get Wainwright through this fifth.
You know what I found interesting, Joe, is that Pablo's had 2 great swings off him, right? Falls behind. He's managing the game still, trying to give him a chance to get out of this. Looking for the double play from Hunter Pence. He knows he's probably not facing Brandon Belt. And I'm not going to let Pablo hurt me with a long ball.
Not hard hit. Down to second, out. No chance to turn 2.
Got his grounder, though. That's managing the game. You know, even though Adam Wainwright does not have his great stuff, he's still managing the game to give them an opportunity. And I'm convinced when he fell behind Pablo, you're not beating me, but I can get a double play. He was hoping it was hit harder. This is a heck of a turn, but he didn't get the double play, but he got the pitch he wanted.
Confidence by Mike Matheny in his ace. At 92 pitches, he's not going to play matchup left on left. His best option right now, Adam Wainwright.
I like the smile. Still having fun competing.
Well, Belt is 1 for 1 plus a sac fly. He's had some good swings against Wainwright. And maybe the biggest part of this equation is what you said, Tom. He's due up third in the bottom of this 5th inning. As Wainwright falls behind Brandon Belt.
I thought if they're going to make a move, it would be here. You got the 2 lefties in a row, and you know he's hitting third.
That's upstairs. It's 2-0.
But the other thing that happens is you want to stretch it. So if Wainwright gets through this, you don't burn another player. You can't use Marco Gonzalez and have him hit third in your lineup and think you're going to rally. You got to get Wainwright through this, and now you can use that pinch hitter as the third hitter, take Wainwright out of the game and bring Gonzalez in.
But you can walk yourself into a lot of mistakes trying to buy that spot in the order.
Good rip by Belt, 2-1.
The National League game, Joe, you like it?
Well, I mean, obviously with the strategy that is in play right now, I mean,
yeah.
If we're in the American League, I think with a left-hander up and a left-hander on deck, I think Wainwright's out of the game. but we're in the National League, due up third. They're trying to, as you said, coax him through the top of the fifth. And he's got 2 strikes on Belt, 2-2.
Yeah, and that's the part you love about the National League game. You really do. The strategy is different. I know some people say it really isn't that much of a difference. This little bit right here is a big difference. What happens? Listen to him.
Full count. That means Pence will take off.
Danger pitch right here. We've said it all night. Wainwright, difficulty putting hitters away with 2 strikes. Now he has to do it with his 98th pitch.
Runner goes on a walk, and it's 2 on, 2 out. We'll see how much more Mike Matheny wants to go with Wainwright. This makes the long, slow walk.
Be a fun conversation at the mound right here.
I think he's got his mind made up.
So Wainwright with Crawford coming up will give the ball to Mike Matheny, and Marco Gonzalez will come in. 2 walks in the inning, 3 in the game. Wainwright out in the top of the 5th. Giants up 3-0. Only 24 of which we're told were fastballs. Can't get through the 5th. Leaves with 2 on and gives way to the rookie left-hander Marco Gonzalez, who was the Cardinals' first-round pick last year out of Gonzaga. Gonzalez with 2 wins this postseason. He got the win in Game 1 in the division series. Kershaw getting the start that game, and the win in Game number 4 with Kershaw getting the start in that game for the Dodgers.
Look how young he looks. Baby face. He's got electric stuff, though.
Good changeup. 2 on, 2 out. Ball 1 outside to Crawford.
Joe, I just think when you see Adam Wainwright with more walks than strikeouts and not able to put away hitters. 27 pitches he threw with 2 strikes, got 1 swing and miss. The 1 bunt through by Bumgarner. It's not the same pitcher.
Strike 2.
Whether that's fatigue, dead arm period, some more elbow issues, only Adam Wainwright knows. That is not his A game.
He felt something in the back of his elbow in the middle part of the year. The Cardinals gave him a start off. After that rough August, he came roaring through September and was the pitcher of the month, but he does not look like the same guy. Gonzalez in this role here in the big leagues in the postseason, coming out of the bullpen trying to get a big out with a left-handed batter at the plate. Typically a starter.
When they took him, he didn't profile as a typical Cardinal pitcher just because he was left-handed. They drafted right-handers.
Here's a 1-2.
You know, I'm watching Brandon Crawford hit off the left-handers, and Barry Bonds worked with him in spring training. You know, they had Barry in spring training. He worked with their left-handed hitters facing left-handed pitchers, and it had a major impact, profound effect on him, Brandon Pelt, all the left-handed hitters facing left-handed pitchers, giving them a better game plan, a better approach. Results may not be there in numbers, but they feel more comfortable.
Here's a 1-2. 2-2.
See already, not your typical relief pitcher coming into a game, really a starting pitcher with starting pitcher stuff. In other words, you have to prepare for 5 different pitches, 2 different breaking balls, 2 different fastballs, and as you said, Joe, the outstanding changeup.
Just 22 years old, and he misses outside to run the count full. 3-2. On deck, another left-hander, Ishikawa. Runners go. Fly ball into left. Holiday, a long run. Foul ball, and it drops untouched. As everybody resets, we'll give you a chance to see where these games can be found. Game 2 tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern on Fox Sports 1. Fox Sports 1 on Tuesday afternoon in Game 3 in San Francisco. Fox Sports 1 all the way until Game 6.
I think the tricky one there is Game 3, 4 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock Pacific.
Travel day is Monday. Here is another 3-2. Hard hit, but right at Adams. And the inning is over. Gonzalez comes out of the bullpen and strands 2 halfway through game number 1. Cardinals coming to the plate against Bumgarner. Down 3-0. Giants lead 3-0 into the bottom of the 5th inning, game 1. Ishikawa with an RBI base hit in the second, his first RBI this postseason. Bumgarner's doing his thing. No runs, 2 hits through 4, and Adam Wainwright knocked out after 4 2/3. He allows 2 earned runs, 3 total. And here's John Jay, who singled into left his first time up. Colton Wong will follow. And then the pitcher's spot. Jay, who singled into left his first time, fouls it left side. Now he's in the hole, 0-2.
And Pablo Sandoval playing him in, way in. He's trying to shoot it right by him. He missed his target, fouled it off, but he was shooting by him. Now he's backed up with 2 strikes.
Ball 1.
Yeah, Harold, I wasn't a big fan of that. John Jay really not a big bunter. You just need to show maybe even with the bag just to take it away. But the way he uses that 5.5 hole, I wouldn't give up so much ground to come that far in.
Carlos Martinez getting loose. Ball 2 bounces into Jay.
I'm with you on that. Because you know Bumgarner's going to attack. And his swing is that inside out to shoot it between the shortstop and third baseman. As you say, the 5.5 hole.
Here is a 2-2. Oh. Jay gets hit by the pitch. On base for the second time, and the Cardinals put their leadoff man on for the second time tonight.
See, and this is where they were trying to stretch Wainwright to get to that third hitter, because now you get your leadoff guy on. The next hitter comes up and your pitcher's sitting on the on-deck circle. And it's tough to sustain a rally and get it going. You see him take this ball right off his.
Yeah, he led the league in hit by pitches. He does not give any ground. And I said Bumgarner works the ball to his glove side. He only hit 7 left-handed batters his whole career.
He worked that one to his backside.
Here's Colton Wong, takes a strike. Marco Gonzalez, the Cardinal pitcher, is in the on-deck circle. Do you expect him to hit? Probably not. Not with Carlos Martinez getting loose, but Gonzalez can hit.
Yeah, if they hit a double play ball here, you may see him hit. But they got an opportunity to drive in a run. You got to go ahead and get your opportunity to score a run here.
Chop to the right side. Bell out at second. No throw to first. Gonzalez will walk to the plate. Tonight's telecast is sponsored by Chevrolet. Find new roads.
Now, as much as you like the National League game, this is what you don't like. He may go up here and bunt.
I'm assuming that's what Jose Aquino just talked to him about. And talk about rolling up the third baseman. You'll see Sandoval basically come down his neck right here. Cardinals playing for 1 run right here, down 3.
I remember when I was a kid, Pete Rose was doing that. I thought it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, look where he's playing Mickey Rivers. Remember that? All the way in, down his throat.
Here's a bunt. Fouled back. You saw the numbers. 3 out of 10 swing of the bat for the rookie Gonzalez. It was a good hitter in college. This is obviously a long way from Gonzaga.
Sure is. Well, you know, they work a lot on bunting, and right here, this situation, the best thing to do is bunt it towards first base, but with a left-handed pitcher, it's hard to stay in there, get that bunt down. So they're playing right in their hands right here.
Off the breaking ball that goes down and away. 1 ball, 1 strike.
And you notice Wainwright did the same thing. When he got ahead in the count, knew a guy was bunting, he started throwing him breaking pitches. Because the first thing a guy's going to do is spin around quick looking for that heater. Oh, it's a breaking ball. It's been an effective tool.
Brandon Belt, the first baseman for the Giants, just came in to talk to Bumgarner. He's over there holding against Colton Wong.
And he's basically telling him, I'm going to break as soon as you lift your legs, or maybe I'm going to stay if you throw over, but I want to let you know what I'm doing ahead of time.
The punt. Bumgarner thought about second, gets the out at first. Down to second is Wong, 2 away.
Perfect bunt back to the pitcher, because that's exactly what the conversation was, Joe. Belt busts immediately, and he's charging in because he's expecting to bunt this ball to first base. And he's got nowhere to go at third. He deadens it right in front of the place. See where Belt is at? He was already sprinting in. If he bunts it there, he's got the left-hander with the perfect throw to second base to get the out. So it ends up being a great bunt.
Here's Carpenter.
Well, that's tremendous confidence, A, in Marco Gonzalez, leaving him in the game by giving up the out with 1 out already in the inning, and B, or 2, for Matt Carpenter to deliver a 2-out hit.
Ball 1 outside.
You're down 3 to Madison Bumgarner, and you're giving up an out and counting on a 2-out hit.
Yeah, but that's not as surprising in a National League game, though. I know what you're saying. I
maybe in August or May.
Would you have gone a pinch hitter there? Is that what you're saying? Or?
Certainly would have thought about it. Deep bullpen. Everybody's rested and available. Day off after game 2.
Carpenter gets under it, lifts it into right. Coming to get it, Hunter Pence. Hat gone, ball in glove, and the inning is over. A leadoff hit batsman. Bumgarner gets around it, doing his thing on a Saturday in St. Louis. Big 3-6. See note 4. The next big thing is here. And by Budweiser, the official beer of Major League Baseball. Here's to Budweiser. Here's to baseball. Here's Ishikawa, who's made a nice diving catch out in left field tonight. He also has 2 hits, including an RBI. Rosenthal is with us. We'll go down to him after this next pitch from Gonzalez. It's a strike, 1-1. Kenny.
Joe, what's amazing about that catch is that before the postseason, Ishikawa had made only 3 starts in the major leagues in left field, all with the Giants during the final week of the regular season. He said that if Bruce Bochy trusted him to play left, he might as well trust that Bochy had the right idea. And this is a player, guys, who appreciates where he is. He started Game 4 of the 2010 World Series for the Giants, then bounced between 5 different organizations before rejoining the team as a minor league free agent in April.
Here's a 1-2. That's outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Yeah, when we were going over the rosters and looking at the names, and I was going, hold on, how was a first baseman? I was puzzled. I was lost by that.
He has rewarded Bruce Bochy's faith with 2 hits, the first RBI, while Michael Morse, who hit 16 home runs during the regular season, has worked his way back from an oblique strain. He's on the roster but not starting. 3-2 pitch on the outside corner, struck him out. 1 away here in the 6th.
When you hear that phrase, look at the tilt, that side shot of the replay gave you a perfect idea of what they're talking about with tilt. The guy getting on top of a baseball, ball coming down to a hitter.
Now it's Bumgarner, takes a strike. Madison lined out with the bases loaded back in the 2nd, struck out. Trying to bunt in the 4th.
You made a good point, Joe, in terms of Bruce Bochy and why he's such a good manager. Saw the way that Ishikawa handled the bat his first couple of times up. A lot of managers see the platoon advantage go away with the left-hander on the mound and make the change to Morse. He trusts what he's looking at rather than pure numbers.
Here's a 1-1 outside.
Plus, at this point in the game, you play your defense. If he's your best defensive option out there and you got the mad bum rolling like he is, you just go with it.
Here's a 2-1. He was swinging for his 5th home run of the season.
Boy, that might be the hardest swing we've seen tonight. Did he let the dog out or what? He gets a high leg kick, and I mean, he's letting it fly all the way back to North Carolina. Goodness.
Here's a 2-2. Hard hit from the hole. Long throw. Peralta got it. Dug out by Adams on the other end. A good play. 2 down.
Yeah, I think that's a case where you don't mind your pitcher getting thrown out here. He's pitching such a good game. He's watching Madison down the line. He took a look himself to see, do I have a chance of beating this thing out? And do I really have to run that hard? Peralta had a measure.
Great play by Peralta. That little extra effort knowing you got a pitcher running. You catch it and get rid of it. You saw how he just got rid of it. Let it bounce. No problem. That's the old Ozzie Smith one hop across the diamond.
He perfected that with a carpet.
Sure did. You saw that a few times, huh, when you were a kid?
It was an art form. And that perfect true bounce. No short hop. Kind of that in between and off that hot turf. Sometimes it would hit. Maybe get over to first base even quicker.
Pretty cool.
2 out, nobody on. First pitch, a strike. Marco Gonzalez, one of 2 left-handers now for Mike Matheny. They deactivated Sam Freeman, who was active in the division series, to add to their bench with A.J. Brzezinski. Good postseason hitter. Brzezinski's on this Cardinal roster to hit more than he is to catch. Here's the 0-2. 1.
When you look at Greg Blanco's numbers in the postseason, have not been good, but if you look at the pitching he had to face in the National Series, you may understand why his numbers are so bad. They were loaded with pitching, and he's constantly seeing the best guys.
Breaking ball grounded to Adams. The flip for the out. Inning in the 3rd in the book. Scoreless from the rookie left-hander Marco Gonzalez. Bottom of the 6th inning. 2, 3, and 4 hitters coming up. 3-0 Giants. not a lot of hits. As you can see, only 2. One belongs to Carpenter that led off in the first. And then a base hit by John Jay with 2 out in the second. That's all. Juan Perez takes over in left field to add to the defense behind Madison Bumgarner. First up is Grichuk. 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Cardinals, down 3. Strike 1. Now 24 consecutive scoreless innings on the road during postseason baseball. That's an MLB record.
Art Neff held up for 90 years. He had a good run.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. Grichuk takes ball 1 up and in.
He had a good run. I like that.
You've got a Giants bullpen that can left to right you. Same with the Cardinal bullpen. Right now it's Bumgarner rolling. 1-1 pitch. Up high, 2-1.
It's been economic, 74 pitches. Just overpowering stuff tonight. Been in control the whole time, not really a threat.
Two and 2.
How hard this ball hits Posey's mask.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Outside, a full count.
This is where their lineup matches best with Bumgarner. You got the right-handers that got a chance to do some damage. It's a big half inning.
Grichuk, Holiday, Peralta. 3-2. Popped up. Foul territory. Buster Posey. 1 away.
Well, Harold, you talked about creating angles. Nobody creates angles like Madison Bumgarner because of that slingshot delivery. Here's the center line to the plate. He's going to release the ball about 3 feet towards first base, creating this angle to the plate. And again, it's not something you will see from the starting pitcher, and that ball just runs in on Grichuk. Now, earlier this season, Bumgarner was all the way on the first base side of the rubber, and he was 4 feet outside the center line. And now, as you see with that pitch right there, by getting more towards the center of the rubber, he's able to get the ball to both sides of the plate.
Now he deals with Holiday. First pitch of ball. And now another 2-0.
Joe, I know you know this, but assuming 60 feet and throwing the ball 3 feet off center, that angle he creates is 3.34 degrees. I know he releases it a little farther than 60 feet, but using that as your base, 60 feet, 3.34 degrees.
Here's a 2-0. In the air to center. Holiday got underneath it. Blanco 2 out. MLB fans, join the biggest 7th inning stretch with your best Take Me Out to the Ball game. It might be featured in Game 4 of the World Series.
So was that 3.34 feet or was that 4 feet on that?
Now, in the interest of full disclosure, I did not do the math, of course. I had my son do the math.
My goodness.
At least you kept it in the family.
Yeah,
There's nobody in the Buck family that could have come up with it. I say that with total confidence.
He didn't even ask me. He went straight to you. He knew I didn't have the answer.
2 out, nobody on. Here's Peralta dealing with those angles and degrees and a swinging strike to Johnny, who's 0 for 1 with a walk. 5 strikeouts tonight for Bumgarner, the hit batsman.
A couple Stanford grads in the Reynolds family. I don't think they'd get that. I'm sorry. It's good stuff, Tom.
Here's the 0-1 with 2 out. Peralta lays off a pitch high. 1 ball, 1 strike.
All the angles, everything else, at the end of the day, he has been lights out, dominant. And I really think he and Buster Posey have done a terrific job of navigating through this lineup. Not shaken off very often.
Skips in, ball 2.
Mixing in another changeup, Harold. You picked that up earlier. Not thrown many in the course of a game. About 6 or 7 out of every 100 pitches. I've seen more than a handful tonight.
Well, it's a nice pitch that keeps the hitters honest. And now he's got him off the cutter. He's thrown the four-seamer. He's got the break. That gives you 4 pitches to worry about.
In the air to right. Long run for Hunter Pence. He's there. And a 1-2-3 inning for Madison Bumgarner. He and the Giants on top 3-zip after 6. Back after this from your local Fox station. To Fox Sports 1 for Game 2. The Giants take on the Cardinals. We'll give you the pitching matchup in just a moment. Then the Orioles take on the Royals. Game 3 of the ALCS Monday at 8 Eastern on TBS. First pitch from Marco Gonzalez to Joe Panik. Rookie against rookie is outside, ball 1. On deck is Buster Posey, and the bullpen is Carlos Martinez. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Boy, I'm really impressed with Marco Gonzalez. Looks sharp.
1-1. That's in at the knees, strike 2.
Good friend John Hart would say that's what they look like. You know, the number ones, you pick that number 1 pick, you can't miss. You can see why the Cardinals are so high on him.
2-2.
Yeah, before I went through my bullet points as to why Mike Matheny would allow him to stay in the game and bunt, really should have added, he really doesn't have a lot of thunder on the bench from the right side. These right-handed hitters are all premium defenders and not extra base hits. Talking about Peter Borges, Pete Kozma, Tony Cruz.
Here is a 3-2. Here's a pitching matchup for tomorrow night, game 2. Jake Peavy, who's 1-0 this postseason, taking on Lance Lynn. Got a no decision in game 2 of that division series, pitching out in LA. Peavy so good against the Nationals. Fox Sports 1 tomorrow at 7:30 Eastern. There's Lance Lynn. That's hard hit, a base hit for the rookie Panic. With Posey coming up, we'll see if Gonzalez is coming out. The answer is yes.
We talked about it. Real good two-strike hitter already in his young career. Watch him, just does not give any ground against the left-hander. Boy, is he impressive.
Well, tail back over the inside of the plate. It was supposed to be on the outside half, but took advantage of it.
First hit allowed by Gonzalez, and that's it for the lefty. And now another young guy, a right-hander who can bring it. Martinez takes over here in the 7th. As an exclusive one-on-one interview with Tony Romo to get you ready for tomorrow's Cowboys-Seahawks game. Plus Frank Thomas and Gabe Kapler with instant reaction from today's ALCS and NLCS matchups. Fox Sports Live after the game only on Fox Sports 1. Streaming live on Fox Sports Go. Here's Carlos Martinez, the right-hander, who really got on a nice roll out of the bullpen at the end of the season. Takes over for Marco Gonzalez. And almost drills Buster Posey with his first pitch of the night.
Hello, my name is Carlos Martinez.
That's how a ball just gets away. You saw he's on top of the baseball with the fingers, and it just kind of got off to the side and ran in.
Posey 1 for 3. Panic on at first with nobody out. Giants already leading 3-0 in the 7th. Here's a 1-0. On the inside corner, strike 1. Switch hitter on deck, Sandoval. On a cool night in St. Louis, and the count 2-1.
We had a red moon the other night. What color would you call that?
Cream. Yellow. Here's a 2-1. Hard hit in the air to center. Jay to his left. 1 out.
Tell you really got to watch John Jay play every day to appreciate him, particularly as a defensive player. This is a great first step. Look at him in the middle there. You see him in center. As soon as this ball's hit, look at him. He's already reacting as this ball's coming off the bat. A lot of guys will wait, see it, then go get it.
It's a great call. He does something I have not seen other center fielders do. During batting practice, he'll stand behind second base, read the ball off the bat, and just take one first step. And he would do that time after time after time.
Here's Sandoval. Hard hit, base hit through the right side. Panic will turn, but stop. And it's 2 on with 1 out. And Sandoval has been on base 4 times tonight.
Postseason comes around, he is a handful. I mean, you think about the home runs he's had. Joe, you've called a lot of big moments he's had in the World Series and everything else. His concentration level goes to a whole different stage.
The Tigers saw plenty of him back in 2012. And he has set up Hunter Pence with 2 on 1 out.
Is that when he had the 3-homer game?
Yep.
In San Francisco.
In San Francisco. A game started by Justin Verlander. That is a strike on the outside corner to Pence.
You know, one of the great things about doing this is we get to visit with players before the game. We visit with the managers. We get to visit with players. And we visited with Hunter today. And I don't know about you guys, but man, I was so impressed. It was such a delight to talk to him.
Here's the 0-1 off the end of the bat. He is such a rare guy. As you talked about him addressing the crowd at AT&T Park. I mean, that's a special gift. And this team really, I know Posey is the easy guy to point to, but they get a lot of lift from Hunter Pence.
Sure do. That speech in San Francisco, any Giant fan who was at that game or watched it, it was amazing.
Here's the 0-2. A strikeout on 3 pitches, 2 down.
He said sometimes he will take a shot. You know, right here he's looking for a fastball. Ends up being a cutter, and he's just taking a shot, anticipating this ball being where he wants it. It runs off, and oh well, you're gone. But he said sometimes I will take a shot, and this is one of those opportunities. He took a shot, didn't work out. Shot meaning a pitch that he thinks is coming. I'm gonna let it fly.
Now Belt had a nice night. He has singled, hit a sac fly, and walked. Ball 1. Not only a broken thumb this year for Brandon Belt, but dealt with a concussion. It slowed his season. Started to get hot again at the end of the year. Comes into this game having gone 5 for 18 in that 4-game set against the Nationals.
The biggest adjustment he has made is being able to pull the ball. When he first came to the big leagues, he took everything inside out. And you could pound him on his hands. Now he'll get the bat head out and pull it.
Here's a 2-0. 3-0.
Yeah, he would tie himself up, and primarily with his grip. Really at the second half of last season, changed his grip from a grip where it was really deep in his hands, really not a lot of flexion in his wrists, to one where it was more in his fingers. He got that talking to Dominic Brown of the Phillies.
Choke getting loose. A strike to make it 3-1 with another left-hander, Crawford, on deck.
That's a 3-0 strike right there, Harold.
The at-bat continues. RBI chance for Belt. That will load him up. Martinez snaps at it. We'll see if Mike Matheny is going to go back to his bullpen.
This is the one time he likes to use Choate, the left-handed specialist, to get the lefty out. You know they're not going to pinch hit Brandon Crawford. So I think he might make that move.
is Matheny. Crawford coming up. Bullpen door is open, and the call's been made. It'll be Choate, the lefty, against Brandon Crawford with the bases loaded. And 2 out here in the 7th. Here's Randy Choate with the bases loaded, 2 out, and Brandon Crawford coming up. Let's go back to that wild card play-in game against Volquez. Grand slam. And that loud crowd in Pittsburgh taken out of it. Madison Bumgarner did the rest. Pitching a complete game shutout. Now Crawford for the 2nd time in this game batting with the bases loaded. Struck out his first time back in the 2nd. And he's jammed here. Wong with a flip, and the inning is over. Keeps it 3-0, and it's time to stretch in St. Louis. All of the scoring happening back in the 2nd and the 3rd innings. How did it happen? Grichuk and a ball hit by Sandoval could not hang on. Went for a double when he lost it going to the ground. And a flare hit by Ishikawa for an RBI. Then an error by Matt Carpenter made it 2-0, and then on what could have been a double play ball, only 1 out. A sac fly followed, and Adam Wainwright could not get through 5. There's our game summary. And Bumgarner is taking care of things on the mound for the Giants. And now for God Bless America, we welcome in the PA announcer here in St. Louis, John Hewlett.
Please welcome retired Navy Petty Officer First Class General Wilson to sing God Bless America.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. my home, sweet home.
It's 15-4 from the 7th inning on. Did not hold the lead once entering the 7th inning in any of the 4 games. It was Colton Wong with a go-ahead 2-run home run in Game 3, and it was the guy who's about to lead it off, Matt Adams, who hit the game-winning home run in the 7th inning against Clayton Kershaw in Game 4. And here is Adams leading it off in the 7th. He has struck out twice. Baumgartner has carved him up. Strike 1.
Yeah, he's really had a tough time with him. I think he helped establish kind of Baumgartner's strike zone. He's had the slider working against him. He fell into a nice rhythm against Adams. We'll see Adams attacking the first pitch right there.
On the outside corner, strike 2.
See, that's when you drop the gun to shoulders. You're feeling good to take the first swing, then he comes back and paints something on the black. Like, now I'm 0-2.
And threatening to strike out for the 3rd time tonight. Baumgartner has struck out 5. Down the left field line, slicing foul, and it will get out of play. While we work in the bottom of the 7th, the telecast sponsored by DirecTV. If you call yourself a sports fan, you got to get DirecTV, and by T-Mobile. Cool night in St. Louis.
Joe, looking at that package we saw, the late inning thunder of the Cardinals, I started thinking about the last 7 runs the Giants have scored in the postseason. Sacrifice fly, bases loaded walk, ground out, wild pitch, bloop single, error, and a sac fly.
That's not Thunder.
No, that's a Roberta Flack offense. Killing him softly.
Whatever way works. See where the infielders are playing Adams to pull with a count of 1-2. Bumgarner. Adams reaching for it. Little fly ball into right. Hunter Pence, one away.
That's good communication right there, because the second baseman, because of the shift so deep, normally would have no problem at all with Hunter Pence catching that ball. Now you're going into communication problems because he starts off so deep.
So now back to a typical defense with 1 out, nobody on, and Yadier Molina, who is 3 out of 17 this postseason. He's on with a base hit with 1 out here in the 7th.
He picks his spots. You know, we've watched him take the first pitch every at bat, and now he comes up in the 7th, third time around, and says, all right, you're going to throw me that fastball, and I'm going to be ready for it. He's ready, first pitch.
Bullpen is quiet for the Giants as John Jay stands in. Strike 1.
And again, we've got Sandoval rolled up way too far at third base.
I'm with you. John
down 3 runs here. This is not a bunt situation, and even if you can honor the bunt a little bit, you can do that from farther back. He's not going to try to bunt if you're even with the base.
Well, and as a hitter, it opens up that hole. All you're doing is trying to shoot it right by him. He is not going to react if you hit a ball hard at him. No way.
And on top of that, Bumgarner has been working John Jay away all night.
Absolutely, and that plays right into the same thing. So you'd think you'd back him up, knowing they're going to pitch him away. He's not going to run at first.
You can almost see Jay trying to serve it into left field. Now he's in the hole 1-2.
Again, it's a pitcher who's comfortable throwing the ball naturally to the glove side, to a hitter who likes the ball away. The one time he did try to come in on Jay, he hit him with the pitch.
Jay knows that. If he's already hitting, he knows he's going to be going away.
Just outside, 2-2.
We just have a visitor in the booth.
2-2, 1 on, 1 out.
Security.
Just sticks the bat out and plunks it into left. Molina will hold at second, and Jay has his second hit of the night.
Lucky 7.
Not the typical inside-out left field stroke we've seen from Jay. Works just as well.
Couldn't have thrown it any better.
And now with 2 on and 1 out, another left-handed batter, Colton Wong, who's 0 for 2. Here comes Dave Rigetti, the pitching coach for the Giants in his 15th year in that capacity. The 7th inning for Mike Matheny's club, the numbers are ridiculous. Almost as many hits in the 7th inning as they have in all the others combined.
You know, and Rigetti handles this almost as if he was throwing a no-hitter. All right, let's not let it get away. Calm it down. Let's get back in the game. And just settle this pitcher down. Now you go back into the routine of it. But this 7th inning has been thunder for the Cardinals.
Strike 1 on long.
Once again, he comes out of the dugout ready to hit. Chases this one off the plate.
Well, look at the break on this ball. It was breaking 3 feet. Nasty.
Affeldt in the bullpen. Bumgarner on the mound. Strike 2.
You got to honor the guy throwing 95, 93, and then that ball, as it's releasing his hands, you're thinking it's a strike, and with that much of a cut on it, that is amazing. Good luck trying to hit it.
First start of the year, he was throwing 91. Late in the year, 94.
Chunker right side, the race to the bag, and got him on a tag.
He's going to complain interference, but that's a great play by the pitcher. It shows you how big Bumgarner is, too. He kind of threw him off like a flea right here.
The big guy cut him off at the pass.
Applied the tag on him.
And now Mike Matheny is going to walk out. I mean, the toss led Bumgarner right into that spot. The tag on the leg for out number 2.
I mean, it's a hard tag. It's a rough-looking play, but I think it's the right play. He's going to be beat. He knows it too. But like you said, Joe, the throw is going to lead him there. Now he looks to go tag him, and he just cut him off the pass. But he hits him on the knee right here as he cut him off. He's a big boy too, man.
So Mike Matheny is still talking to the first base umpire, Bill Welke. And you can see that Mike Matheny is asking to challenge it.
Well, I think he wants the umpires to get together here to see if somebody else had an angle.
I think
right, they're going to challenge. Yeah. I mean, why not take a shot, right?
Yeah, it could be what, impeding his progress and opportunity to hit the bag, so that may be what they're saying.
Yeah, I'm with you though, Harold. It looked like that throw just took the fielder into the runner. He's got it right to the ball to catch the throw.
We'll see.
Play under review is presented by Samsung. So the crew chief is Jerry Davis, and that's what they're looking at.
See, I'm thinking if he doesn't apply a tag, he's going to apply the tag. He puts it right there on the knee. If he doesn't apply the tag, that's one thing. Once he makes the tag and knocks him off, I don't think they have a complaint.
And they've already looked at it and called him out.
If he doesn't apply a tag, I get it. You got to play there. You got a complaint. But once the tag is applied, he's out.
So now with runners at second and third, 2 out, the batter will be Tony Cruz. First at bat of this postseason for Tony Cruz. And Mike Matheny can use his backup catcher with A.J. Pierzynski on his bench as well.
This was the biggest difference in the benches in the last series with the Dodgers and the Cardinals, and we'll see it here with the Giants. The thunder that comes off the bench for the Cardinals. You're looking for a base hit here to keep it going, but you don't have that 3-run homer guy on the bench. Maybe Oscar Taveras if he runs into one.
Hard throwing right-hander Strickland getting loose now for the Giants in their pen. Second and third, 2 out. Strike 1. So no meaningful at-bats for Tony Cruz since the regular season ended, and he is off the bench and dealing with Madison Bumgarner. And about to face Madison's 100th pitch of the night.
I think you have to look in this at-bat against Bumgarner.
1 ball, 1 strike.
We've talked about his ability to use both sides of the plate. But I think when you're in trouble, you go to your money pitch, and that's the four-seam fastball or the cutter on the hands of right-handers.
That's a great call, Tom. I think you're absolutely right.
Good swing by Cruz. It's 1-2.
May have been his best shot right here. This ball's right down the middle. He's looking in. It cuts back in for him. This shows you how hard he's throwing and how much movement he's got.
Exactly. Just got it in enough to keep it off the barrel.
Base hit out of the infield would likely make this a one-run game. Molina and Jay the runners. 2 out. The 1-2. Foul ball. Cardinals will need a new pitcher when they take the field in the 8th. Seth Maness. He's the one getting loose.
Everything running in on Cruz, including the breaking ball. And off the toe. Ouch.
And that ball rolled all the way to third base.
2-2.
I think that is just a pitch to show. They want to get him out in. That was just maybe give him another thought. They're going to come back in hard here.
Was nearly a ball. Yadier Molina was calling for it, but none of the umpires were. Well, that's a ball.
I don't know how he got away with that unless there was timeout called somewhere on the field. Once you start your delivery, you need to continue the delivery.
Unless you take that back foot and step off.
Yeah, you saw that front foot move first. That's the start of a delivery.
So instead of a run on the board, there's no balk call. Still a 3-0 game as Cruz waits for a 2-2. And a strikeout follows. Bumgarner has shut out the Cardinals on 4 hits through 7. May have gotten away with a balk in the inning. Bumgarner pumped up. He and the Giants lead 3-0 into the 8th. We go in game 1. got away with a balk. Here's Seth Maness, takes over first at bat of the night for Juan Perez, who took over to improve the defense. Batting the spot held by Travis Ishikawa, who had a nice night. Here's a ground ball to short, true hop for Peralta. 1 out, and back to what looked like a balk in the bottom of the 7th.
Yeah, watch the front foot, the right foot of Madison Bumgarner. That will move before he steps back with the left foot. That flinch of the right foot is constituting the beginning of the delivery. Then he must go ahead and throw the pitch. The umpires on the field didn't notice, but somebody did. Yadi Molina saw it right away. And he is going to continue the conversation with Phil Cuzzi, saying, didn't you see that? I saw it from third base.
Here's Bumgarner staying in the ball game. He shatters his bat. 2 out.
You know, a lot of times an indicator to an umpire is something just didn't look right. And that's when you think about it. And that did not look right. You know what I'm saying? When he started his motion and all of a sudden he's flinching, you immediately think balk.
Meanwhile, A.J. Pierzynski, who is on the active roster, came out to warm up Seth Maness because Molina was involved in that last half inning, and A.J. was on the home plate umpire saying that they missed a balk. But I think you expect that from A.J., whether it was a balk or not. Now with 2 out, nobody on, back to the top of the order, Gregor Blanco against Maness. Strike 1 at the knees. So Bumgarner, it appears, will go back out there with Carpenter, Grichuk, and Holiday coming up. That's ball 2, 2-1.
It looks to me, Joe, like Bumgarner just kind of rethought the pitch he wanted to throw and wanted to reboot.
You know, a lot of times when you have runners on base and you're using combination signs, you think you have what you have, and then all of a sudden another sign goes down and throws off your rhythm. I think that might have been what happened there.
Here's a 2-2. To the right side, Adams on 2 bounces to the bag. The Cardinals will have the top of their lineup in the bottom of the 8th inning. Going there, San Francisco on top in game 1, 3-0. Madison Bumgarner has really faced only one big challenge, and that was in the 7th. And the Cardinals had 2 on 1 out. Got out of it by getting Wong and then a pinch hitter Cruz. Will deal with the top of the lineup with a bullpen right behind him. Sergio Romo getting loose. The right-handed batters to follow. Carpenter takes strike 1. Former closer, now setup reliever Sergio Romo. Switched jobs with Santiago Casilla midway through the season. They switched it the other way last time the Giants won it all back in 2012 when Romo took over as the closer. Now the count 0-2.
I think you run it out with Bumgarner as long as you can. Even, you know, obviously they're waiting to see if a man gets on or not. He's got a 3-run lead. He's throwing terrific. The pitch count comes into play, Joe. 106.
Carpenter goes into battle mode with 2 strikes as he takes just outside ball 1.
So good with 2 strikes, Matt Carpenter. He told me growing up he played a game with his brother called Strikeout. They pitched to one another one-on-one, and you got to hit as long as you didn't strike out. As soon as you struck out, you switched sides. Of course, he wanted to hit all the time. Turned him into a contact hitter.
He strikes out as Bumgarner made a pitch on 1 and 2 and fooled Carpenter 1 away. Strikeout number 7.
Well, this is part of the arsenal. He throws him a pitch he hadn't seen tonight. This is actually a little in between. I'll call it a slurve. It's not the hard slider. It's not the cutter that was running for everybody. Look at the grip. And all of a sudden, here comes the spin. It's a pitch he hadn't seen all night.
That curveball has been muddy for him. And I guarantee you, Matt's younger brother didn't throw a curveball like that when they were playing strikeout.
Here's Grichuk. 1 out, nobody on. Randall's 0 for 3. Ball 1 down and in. Grichuk is flying to left, struck out, fouled out. 1 ball, 1 strike. A reminder, fans, upload your best Take Me Out to the Ball game. You might be featured in Game 4 of the World Series.
The movement of Madison Bumgarner's pitch is amazing. I know it's great on TV, but here in the ballpark, the movement that these hitters are trying to hit is incredible.
2-1.
Curveball away. Then he'll come back with that hard ball in on his hands, either a fastball or a cutter that's going to run for about 6 to 8 inches. And it is hard to pick up.
Grichuk on 2-1, hits one in the air to left. Easy for out number 2 with Perez making the catch here in the 8th. Tonight's telecast sponsored by the new Dollar Cravings menu at Taco Bell, Live Moss, and by AT&T, mobilizing your world. 112 pitches tonight from Madison Bumgarner. And that's going to be it. The man in his 20th season as a big league manager, Bruce Bochy, takes the ball from him. And the Giants fans in attendance and all over this country have to salute the work by their #1 starter. Bumgarner pitches into the 8th. Leaves with the bases empty, 2 out, up 3-0. #1 app for live baseball. Stay connected every pitch with highlights, replay reviews, scores, live radio broadcasts, and more. Get the At Bat app for your smartphone or tablet. Here's Sergio Romo. He's taken off since he and Casillas switched roles. 79-mile-an-hour pitch, fouled straight back by Holiday, strike one.
And you're going to see a lot of them. Those are the sliders. Romo is going to throw that slider more than anything else. Pitch after pitch after pitch. You could wake him up from an afternoon nap and he can throw that pitch for a strike.
And he'll show you just enough fastballs, one, to make you honor it a little bit. That's Miguel Cabrera.
Here's the 0-1. In the air to center. Back is Blanco. Romo does his job, and only 3 to the plate in the 8th inning for St. Louis as we go to the 9th. In game 1, San Francisco with 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd. And the pitching of that man, Madison Bumgarner, lead it 3-0. #1, things go well. The #1 for the San Francisco Giants is Madison Bumgarner, who does more of what Giants fans have come to expect. The 25-year-old left-hander, he was outstanding as Panic flies one into left. Holiday is there for out #1 here in the top of the 9th inning. And there are the numbers, 112 pitches. And you just can't say enough for the job he did from the beginning.
Well, he was fantastic from pitch 1. But, Tom, I think the big thing, the record he set.
Oh, it's amazing. This guy puts the O in October. 26 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings on the road in the postseason. I mean, think about that. The hardest thing to do, obviously, pitch in the postseason. It ratchets up the pressure when you're on the road, and he answers the bell every time.
Winning on the road. Good pitching helps, huh?
And here's a guy who helped guide him through, Buster Posey. And you noticed early that Bumgarner and Posey got into a good rhythm.
They really did. You know, so much of it has to do with the rhythm of the pitcher. And when your catcher throws down the signs, you don't have to worry about are we in sync or not. It is such a big difference, and he did a great job tonight.
1 ball, 2 strikes, the count on Posey, who tonight is 1 for 4. With Sandoval on deck.
He just never had the feeling, even though a couple of times runners on base, that he was truly in trouble. Looking back on the 23 outs that he got, only 5 were on the ground. One of those on a bunt sacrifice. It just seemed like the ball was moving off the barrel, and he was inducing these weak pop-ups and fly balls that don't stretch or test the defense at all.
Well, I know they threw 4 left-handers in the lineup and thought they might have a chance, but he ate them alive tonight too. He just pitched great.
Taking it off the top of the plate is Posey. 1 for 5, 2 out.
Sometimes you're going to run into that buzzsaw, and that's what happened with Bumgarner. He was clicking. How about this guy, Joe? You see him play a lot of postseason baseball. Does he still marvel you at the stuff he does?
I think what has always struck me is that for a guy as big as he is, and he's not as small as he was at the start of the year when he showed up for spring training, having dropped about 30 pounds, put on some of that. But his agility, his ability, as you've already pointed out, to go down and get pitches, what he can do athletically as a big man, a thick guy, I think is incredible.
He really is a tremendous athlete. Came in a giant organization as a catcher. They were able to move him to third base because of his athletic ability.
Manus trying to turn in 2 perfect innings, has Sandoval set up in 1 and 2.
And he's, I think, shown tremendous plate discipline tonight. I mean, he's known as a guy. I mean, he's going to go up there hacking, loves swinging at first pitches. He got himself into good counts tonight by staying off pitches. Cardinals know the scouting report that he'll chase. Well, he didn't tonight, and he wound up getting some good pitches, and even the not so good ones he hit.
2 out, the base is empty. Sandoval takes one off the top of the plate there. Wong backs up, gets the out. 2 perfect innings by Manus, and the Cardinals in the bottom of the 9th inning will have 4, 5, and 6. Peralta, Adams, Molina trailing here in game 1, 3-0. NLCS coverage game 2. And it's on Fox Sports 1. Giants and Cardinals, Jake Peavy against Lance Lynn. And the Orioles take on the Royals on the other side of the state. Game 3 of the ALCS, Monday at 8 Eastern on TBS. There's the matchup. Tomorrow night, Jake Peavy started the year with Boston. He was here last year during the World Series with the Red Sox. Now he is a San Francisco Giant, pitching great against Lance Lynn, who was very good, got a no decision in his start against the Dodgers in the division series. Now it's Santiago Casilla. Look at the ERA. That's a career best as he takes over here in the 9th inning, up by 3. Peralta first up, then Adams and Molina. Casilla trying to save it for Bumgarner. He would go to 2-1 this postseason, 5-3 in his career. Strike 1.
Casilla's a guy that's going to live on the edges. He's going to force you to have to go after bad pitches if you want to swing at him. He'll nibble, be on the corner though.
Right-handers hit only 161 against him this season.
That's generally because of the fastball slider combination. Power stuff from Casilla. Actually showing some more velocity as the season has gone on.
Ball 1 strike. Casilla was part of that bullpen for the LCS in 2012 when these two teams met, as was Romo, as was Affeldt, as was Lopez. Broken back. Crawford charging. Got him, 1 away.
Nice play. See him gather himself, make the strong throw across the diamond. Feels that a lot of guys throw this on the run. He knew who was running, set himself, threw a strike across the diamond. No need to throw a ball away right now. You're playing for outs. Joe, you know, when I look at Casilla, I just look at the brilliance of Bruce Bochy. Being able to make adjustments along the way, whether his pitching staff, we watch it year in, year out, whether it's Lincecum, this guy, Romo, you name it.
Also had to juggle the lineup because of injuries. As Adams, strike 1. Even had Hunter Pence up in that leadoff spot with Angel Pagan battling injury in and out all year. Now they've lost him. They lost him the middle part of September. Playing the rookie panic. Filling in now in left field. He has Morse back. There's a big piece of it. Matt Cain, who's out after elbow surgery. They don't miss a beat. Good breaking ball, strike 2.
Well, I think the biggest challenge for a major league manager these days is how you run your bullpen. I'm with you, Harold. I'm not sure anybody does it better than Bruce Bochy. 36 postseason games under Bochy, and the bullpen has lost 1 game.
In the air to right, Pence into his right. 2 out. If the Giants win this game, it'll be their 7th consecutive postseason road win. And since 2010, a record under Bruce Bochy of 27-10 in the postseason overall.
Remarkable. And if they close this one out, they'll be 13-0 when the other team hands them an unearned run.
Two out. Molina 1 for 3. That's falling in a hurry down the line. Foul and out of the reach of Brandon Belt. Strike 1. No late inning magic tonight for the Cardinals yet. They're down to their final 2 strikes. Down to their final strike. Bumgarner, Romo, now Casilla. Tight defense behind good pitching. Taking advantage of opportunity. Still 0-2.
Living on the corners again. Just being consistent with all the stuff. The fastball and the slider. You know it's coming. But he lives on the corner. He makes you have to chase pitches. And when he gets ahead in a count like this, it's devastating.
The 0-2.
Joe, I think it's easy to chalk this one up if you're St. Louis to Madison Bumgarner. You tip your cap. At the same time, I think they have to realize going into game 2, playing against the Giants, you better play a clean game.
Ball 1. Here's a 1-2. Left side, Sandoval makes the stop. Throw perfect. And the Giants take game 1. A final of 3-0 behind their ace, Madison Bumgarner.
The pitching was terrific. Situations, there really was not a threat from the Cardinals. Outside of the inning where they had the balk, other than that, the offense just did not get clicking. You got to credit Bumgarner to the pen to shut this down.
Too much Bumgarner, just too good. Love the way he mixed in his breaking ball tonight.
How about the pitching for the Giants this postseason? 6 games now. Their ERA is 1.14. And it was Bumgarner tonight with 7 2/3, no runs, 4 hits. A smile from Bruce Bochy. He's already got 2 world championships under his belt. Trying to get another pennant. His Giants take game 1 of this NLCS in 2014. Giants just keep on rolling. They won it all in 2010. They won it all in 2012. And now here they are in 2014, 3 wins away from going back to the World Series. And we go down to the field and Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Madison Bumgarner, Pablo, 7 2/3 scoreless tonight. What did you see from him?
Unbelievable. He threw the ball both ways, you know. He was missing his pitch out there. He do a great job, you know. It's one of the things you're waiting for him in the mound.
You were on base 4 times. You've got big numbers in the postseason. You've done some really special things. How do you explain how well you're playing in all these different Octobers?
Man, you know, I just calm down myself. You know, it's one of the things. If I've been doing that like that, being like that during the season, I think I'm going to be a great hitter. So I just try to do the best that I can out there. You know, try to get on base to get the momentum going. So that's what I do.
Pablo, there were a lot of questions coming into the game about Adam Wainwright and his elbow. What did you see from him?
You know, he do a great job. He do a great job. You know, he was missing pitches. You know, he do a great pitch out there. You know, we take advantage of that. So that's what we need to do with those guys. You know, try to get a situation. You know, to drive runs, get it out of the game as soon as possible.
Pablo, thanks a lot. Joe, back to you.
All right, thank you, Ken. Well, it was a story of pitching again for the San Francisco Giants and Madison Bumgarner. He's just 25 with a ton of postseason experience. Outstanding. Into the 8th inning, did not allow a run. His run this postseason, the Giants' run this postseason, continues. Take a break. Come back after this.